All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I want to first apologize. We were taking care of a lot of business, so thank you so much for your patience. It is really good to see everyone. We are going to start tonight with, in our normal fashion, with introductions, and we'll start to my right with our clerks.
Good evening. I am Christine Smith, Clerk to the Board. Welcome.
Good evening. I am Marlissa Easton, Deputy Clerk to the Board.
Good evening. My name is Yvette Townsend Ingram, and I serve on the board at large. And welcome to our streaming audience, too.
Good evening. I am Mecklenburg County Commissioner Elaine Powell, representing Huntersville, Davidson, Cornelius, and North Charlotte. Welcome.
Good evening. I'm George Dunlap, elected by the people of District 3. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Lee Altman, County Commissioner serving at large. Welcome to you all.
Good evening and welcome again. My name is Mark Jarrell. I've been elected by the people of District 4, and I also have the honor of serving as chair. It's good to see everyone.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Arthur Griffin, and I have the pleasure of serving as County Commissioner at large.
Good afternoon. My name is Vilma D. Leak, and I represent the most powerful district in the county, and that happens to be District 2. Welcome, and happy Father's Day when it happens.
Good evening, I'm Laura Meyer, and I represent District 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Susan Rodriguez McDowell. I'm elected by the people of District 6.
Good evening, Dina DiOrio, County Manager.
Good evening, Tyrone Wade, County Attorney.
All right, at this time, our invocation will be led by the Commissioner from District 2, and that is Commissioner Leak.
He's asking me to bring our minds in and to think seriously about the welfare of those who cannot take care of themselves, and especially our young people and our senior citizens who struggle to survive. May we bow our heads and pray quietly. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Commissioner Leak will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all. For all.
Thank you for that. There's a couple things we have to take care of. We have to take care of some items here in open session that we took care of in the back. And before we do that, I want everybody to know, I think there's no secret that tonight is a special night for this board. It's a special night for this community. Tonight is the last meeting for our current county manager, Dina DiOrio. And it's special. It's bittersweet for all of us here. It's bittersweet for the community. And I wanted to tee that up at the very beginning of this meeting to say that. And she'll have the opportunity for some words. It'll just be a little bit later. But at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 041-233-14 plus or minus 1.78 acres, including all property improvements and all personal property as identified in a purchase and sale agreement from Sunrise Hotel LLC for a purchase price of $5,500,000 for non-congregate emergency shelter purposes, and authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary between the county, the city of Charlotte, and the United Way of Greater Charlotte for the financing and future operation of the above referenced property.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and seconded. Any in readiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. That's unanimous, Madam Clerk. Next one is the chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 201-101-04 A and B, plus or minus 31.960 acres from Ralph S. Greer, Robert E. Greer, and Roy T. Greer for a purchase price of $9,300,000 for park and recreation purposes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any in readiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 199-481-07 plus or minus 3.073 acres from Michael Clymer for a purchase price of $800,000 for expansion of McDowell Nature Preserve.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any in readiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcels 023-052-01 and 023-052-02 plus or minus 6.150 acres from Emilio Medina and spouse Patricia Medina for a purchase price of $210,000 for expansion of Latta Nature Preserve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any in readiness? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. So the next part of our agenda is the awards and recognition portion, and at this time, I will turn it over to our illustrious Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm very happy that tonight we have three really important proclamations, very important to the community. And we will begin with Juneteenth, brought to us by Commissioner George Dunlap, Chairman Emeritus George Dunlap.
Thank you. First of all, let me ask, is there someone scheduled, designated to receive this proclamation? All right, if not, we'll hold on to it. So tonight, the board is honored to pay tribute and honor to those who have gone on before us and what they endured prior to their emancipation. And so I will read the board's proclamation, and it reads as follows. Mecklenburg County, North Carolina Proclamation. Whereas on June 19, 1865, more than 2 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation by President Abraham Lincoln, Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, to free 250,000 people still being held in bondage. And whereas Juneteenth became the emancipation date of Black Americans' long suffering for freedom in the United States. And whereas through the work of activists like Opal Lee, known as the grandmother of Juneteenth, and former state representative Al Edwards, who authored the bill that made Texas the first state to designate Juneteenth a holiday in 1980. Juneteenth became a federal holiday on June 17, 2021. And whereas the celebration of Juneteenth is in recognition of endurance, strength, and resilience of Black Americans over oppression and inequality in the United States. And whereas the traditions of celebration has remained throughout the generations as Juneteenth is honored with family gatherings, prayer, festivities, drumming, dance, inspirational speeches, art, poetry readings, picnics, games, singing, and fellowship. And whereas for African Americans, Juneteenth is a tribute to the strength and perseverance of our ancestors and a reminder for all Americans to commit to the eradication of racism and inequality. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim June 19th, 2025 as Juneteenth Day of Observance in Mecklenburg County and encourages all citizens to join in this special observance. This third day of June 2025, signed Mark Jarrell, Chair, Mecklenburg County Board of Commissioners. Is there a motion to approve?
Second. Moved and seconded. Is there any comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. The second proclamation we will take up today is LGBTQ Pride. And if all the people who are going to be accepting it would like to come down to the podium, and I will at this time turn it over to Commissioner Susan Rodriguez McDowell.
Thank you. So as we just get ourselves in the mindset to hear the proclamation, I wanted to read this news bulletin that I just received at 6:03 from the New York Times, which states that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ordered the Navy to review the names of vessels honoring prominent civil rights leaders, including Harvey Milk, who was one of the country's first openly gay elected officials and a Navy veteran. News of Mr. Hegseth's decision comes just days into Pride Month, which celebrates the contributions of luminaries in the LGBTQ community. Instead, Mr. Hegseth's order was intended as a rebuke of Pride Month, keeping with the Trump administration's drive to expunge diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts across the federal government. So with that in mind, I'm going to read our proclamation. Whereas Mecklenburg County is home to a vibrant and diverse community, including lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer LGBTQ citizens and residents who contribute immeasurably to the social, cultural, civic, and economic vitality of our region. And whereas Mecklenburg County's LGBTQ community, along with their families, friends, neighbors, and allies, have helped shape our collective progress through resilience, creativity, leadership, and a deep commitment to justice and inclusion. And whereas the month of June is traditionally celebrated as LGBTQ Pride Month, honoring the legacy of the Stonewall Uprising of June 28, 1969 in New York City, where LGBTQ people, especially people of color, trans individuals, and youth, bravely stood against systemic oppression, sparking a movement that transformed the nation. And whereas Charlotte's LGBTQ community first began organizing socially and politically in the early 1970s, with the city's first Pride events taking place in 1981, this legacy continued with the founding of Charlotte Pride in 2000 and Charlotte Black Pride in 2005, each playing a critical role in uplifting voices, fostering visibility, and advocating for equity across our communities. And whereas this year marks a historic moment as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of Charlotte Black Pride in July and the 25th anniversary of Charlotte Pride in August, two cornerstone celebrations that reflect the strength, joy, and perseverance of our local LGBT community. And whereas LGBTQ history and contributions are being systemically erased, we honor the foundations laid by leaders including Donaldson King, Blake Brockington, Janice Covington, Ginger Walker, and Reverend Deborah Hopkins. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim June 2025 as LGBTQ Pride Month in Mecklenburg County, and encourage all citizens to join us in this special observance this third day of June 2025, signed by our chairman, Mark Jarrell. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. The motion having been made and properly seconded, would my colleagues like to be heard? All right, while you're collecting your thoughts, I'll go first and say that I was not aware of this development from Secretary Hegseth, and it really feels like very painful for me. And what I can say is in this moment of upset that I am confident in the arc of the universe bending towards justice. And I am confident that these people here and this community stands with you as we navigate these difficult times. So I'm sorry that that happened, but please know how loved you are and how important, an important part of an integral part of the fabric of this community that you are. So if nobody else needs to speak at this time. Oh, Commissioner Powell.
I echo everything that Commissioner Altman said. I think it's really important at this time of really pain from the federal level.
Will you speak in the mic, please?
Yes. Just to, you know, I don't even know how to say it, that you are loved, and you shouldn't, you know, it's so sad when people can't even express who they are. And so I like what she said about the arc of the universe. I wish I could say it. I wish I could say it as well as her, but really just what I'm saying, just know that you're loved, and thank you for being here.
Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. And I've said this before, sitting here, I just don't understand bias. I don't understand prejudice. I don't understand discrimination. And it's crazy that we have to do a proclamation for this, but I'm proud to support it, and I will continue to support it, and I will continue to support Pride. And I know this community does. This community backs Pride, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm thrilled to put a hand up for it. Thank you for being here.
Commissioner Leek.
Let me first say thank you for being here. And thank you for still being alive after 5. We love you. I'm talking about from the community perspective. I'm not putting on any airs. You know who care about you. You know who treats you right. You know who respects you. And all I say to this community, we're all equal. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, I have some questions sometimes because they don't include some of us. Might be because of your color, your gender, whatever. But all you got to do is look in the mirror and know and say to your own self that you're valuable and you make contributions to this community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, we would love to hear from the people here to receive it.
Hi, I'm Meredith Thompson, Managing Director of Charlotte Pride, and I just want to thank you all for your kind words today and for your actions. They matter. They mean a lot, they have impact, and they resonate through our community and beyond. This is a really special year for us. We're 20 and 25 years old, and we've had a great impact over this community for more than a couple of decades and beyond, you know, because of course we continue in the tradition of Stonewall and early Pride activities in the 80s. So there's a long tradition of Pride. There's a great impact from the LGBT community on arts and culture and on just the general vibrancy of our community. And this proclamation today resonates and affirms that. It affirms our worth, it affirms our impact, and it means a great deal. It signals in this tumultuous time that, you know, inclusion matters and that diversity is valuable in our community. So thank you. Listen, we're excited in August to move to a Mecklenburg County park and have our festival because it's gotten so big. It's become the largest event in Uptown Charlotte. So we are thrilled to, you know, sort of have the county embrace us on several levels. And we're really looking forward to the celebration in August. So thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. Miles Perry, co-chair of Charlotte Black Pride. And yes, I want to echo a lot of the same words that this matters, that we are here, we've been here, we'll still exist to be here, moving forward from 20 years, 25 years to 200 years. And I want to echo that it it is so important that our community gets to embrace us, that we do get to feel that love, that we get to all cherish that accomplishment of powering through resilience, through community, and through uplifting each other. I'm really excited that we will be hosting our Charlotte Black Pride Festival in West End Complex at JCSU. We'll still be in Uptown, and we'll be connecting with our roots, and I hope to see you all there, both in June, whether it be at Pride in the Park, whether it be at Charlotte Black Pride, or whether it be at Charlotte Pride. I hope to see you all there with open arms, as our community has done for everybody, and that we expect and hope that everyone does for us. Thank you.
Real quickly, good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you. As echoed from our co-chair of Charlotte Black Pride, we say thank you. And just thank you for the love. But one thing I do stand and say that no matter what comes our way, we do not back down. We do not fold, because at the end of the day, if we had the power before, that power has not gone anywhere. It just grows. And so we say thank you. As being a part of the LGBTQ plus community and our family, we are not afraid, because if we were afraid, we would be running back into our houses. But we have been given a power by God, and we refuse to let that power die. So thank you for this proclamation, and to our fellow community, we will not let you down, but we will show you the reason why the love of God is with us and the promise was always made. Thank you.
Sir, could you give me your name?
I am Rayvon Moore, the Rayvon Moore, the chaplain for Charlotte Black Pride.
Good evening. My name is Sherman Jones. I'm the newest member at large on the executive board of Charlotte Black Pride. This is my first event as a board member, and I must say that I am extremely proud and appreciative to be here. Commissioners, thank you so much, not only for this proclamation, but especially for your kind words that you gave us after. Commissioner Leek, especially your comment on respect. I am so grateful to hear that and to embody that. Being a member of this community and the intersection that exists in our community, specifically here at Charlotte Black Pride, is a demonstration of tenacity, if nothing else. And this proclamation is proof and support of that fact. And so I thank you all so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe everyone, oh yes, we need to carry the motion, and then we'll have them come down. So all those in favor, please raise your right hand. And that is unanimous. Thank you so much. So at this time, if you'd like to come down and receive the proclamation.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You shake hands like I do. Congratulations. He took me. I don't want to hurt your team.
Thank you, babe.
Congratulations.
So much. Good to see you. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I don't want to hurt
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's good to see you.
We're gonna take a quick picture.
Right.
To do it.
Congratulations. So thank you so much.
It's all good. I've been practicing. It's been like a week.
Scoot over closer.
Thank you very much.
Let's scoot in, George.
You're a tall lady.
Move down in the
Meredith.
center.
Y'all move down a little bit.
Just come, come
There,
center.
that's
There,
good,
right there, right there.
that's good. Whoa,
Right
whoa,
there.
whoa, whoa.
You went a little too far.
There you go. Okay.
Right here, thank you.
Right. Thank you, everybody.
Wonderful. All right, we have one more incredibly important proclamation tonight. And for the speakers who will be here for that, Megan Hill and Rafaela Vaca, please feel free to come down. It's with great pleasure that I turn to Commissioner Velma Leek.
Let me first say thank you to the chairperson and vice chair for asking me to read this proclamation from the county. Whereas gun violence is a major public health issue in the United States and in our local community, encompassing suicides, homicides, domestic violence, mass shootings, and unintentional injuries, many of which are preventable through safe firearm storage and responsible ownership of these weapons. Whereas the financial impact of gun violence in Mecklenburg County is significant, with each fatal shooting costing approximately $1.83 million, and each non-fatal shooting $425,386, according to the 2025 Office of Violence Prevention and National Institute for Criminal Justice Reform report. And whereas Black African Americans residents in Mecklenburg County are disproportionately affected by gun violence, repressing 81% of homicide victims while compressing only 32.8% of the population, and gun violence is terrible across this country. Whereas our firearms are involved in 87.6 homicides in the country, highlighting the central role guns play in local violence, and sometimes with our mouths, or even worse. Whereas in 2024, Mecklenburg County Police reported 111 homicides and seized 3,404 firearms, marking a 5% increase in illegal guns seized, and noticed a 22% rise in shootings involving juvenile suspects, children using weapons, killing each other. Whereas June is recognized as National Gun Violence Awareness Month, during which residents are encouraged to wear orange in honor of victims and survivors, and to raise awareness about the urgent need for preventing violence. Whereas the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners reaffirms its commitment to reducing gun violence and supporting efforts that promote safety, health, and justice for all county residents and those who are just moving in. Whereas progress is being made through coordinated efforts, resulting in a 17% decrease in violent crime in the first quarter of 2025, compared to the same period in 2024, according to the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, demonstrating the positive impact of preventing and interventing programs. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Mecklenburg County Board of Commissioners, in observance of National Gun Violence Awareness Month, hereby proclaim June 2025 as Gun Violence Awareness Month in Mecklenburg County, and commends its observance to all citizens of this great city and county on this third day of June 2025. It is signed by the chairman of this board, Mr. Mark D. Jarrell, chairperson. We elected him as our chairman, Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners. I so move the passage of this proclamation, that we stop the violence that's going on in this community. Every day you open the paper or you listen to the news, you may not want to hear it, but I'm going to say it. It's violence in this community, and we're killing each other, and the bloodline is being cut off. You may not want to hear it, but I'm going to say it. Stop killing each other. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Commissioner Leek. The motion having been made and seconded, I will turn to my colleagues for comments, but before I do that, I failed to ask Dr. Kimberly Scott and Ebony Rao, who is the leader of the new Office of Violence Prevention, to please come down, apologize, to accept and also give remarks. But at this time, I'll open the floor for my colleagues. All right. Okay, thank you so much. You may proceed.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you to the Board of County Commissioners for recognizing June as Gun Violence Awareness Month. We know that awareness is just the first step. We know that action is necessary to make true and meaningful change in our community. And on that note, I'd like to recognize the Sea of Orange folks in the audience with their orange T-shirts in recognition of this month. These dedicated community members are really boots on the ground, making sure that we are providing a variety of services, from youth prevention services to mental health resources, to make sure that we are addressing gun violence in our community. And we know that it takes all of us together to make true and meaningful change. And on that note, I'm really excited to announce that Mecklenburg County Public Health has a new senior health manager for our Office of Violence Prevention, and I am pleased to announce at this time Ms. Ebony Rao, who is no stranger to the county. She has worked with our Recast program and has done tremendous work within this community. So we are excited about the direction of this office under her leadership and look forward to partnering with our amazing community partners and residents who are here today to continue this work together. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Ebony.
Wonderful. It's so wonderful to see you all. Thanks again. My name is Ebony Rao. I am the Senior Health Program Manager for the Office of Violence Prevention and the Recast program, which stands for Resiliency in Communities After Stress and Trauma. Thank you, commissioners and county leadership, for your support and your diligence in this matter and for recognizing June as Gun Violence Awareness Month. Each year, gun violence takes the lives of more than 450,000 in our country. There are hundreds of thousands more injured in non-fatal gun violence. They are our children, our fathers, our mothers, our brothers and sisters, our cousins, our coworkers, our teachers, our friends, our mentors. Those of us left behind, some of us here today, feel that impact every day. Gun violence affects us all, and it is the responsibility of each of us to ensure that we are taking steps and action to prevent gun violence. The Office of Violence Prevention is a collaboration with many partners across the community, not just public health. We collaborate with the City of Charlotte, our county partners here within Mecklenburg County government, as well as many community-based organizations. We partner with our law enforcement, we partner with our universities, we partner with our schools. We work to bring about systematic change and community-level change. It is with great gratitude that I become a leader in this area and that I say to everyone, it is up to us. June is Gun Violence Awareness Month, but we cannot stop with awareness. We have to move forward with action. And so for some, they may be asking, what can I do as a community member, as a community leader? And I say this, you can ensure that your firearms are secured. Mm-hmm. You can ask the parents of your children's friends before play dates if they have secured their weapons. You can make sure that there are not guns left loaded in cars that are easy to be stolen. You can advocate. You can join organizations, and this month you can participate in many county and community events to say, I am with you. You can visit the website ourcommunity.MeckNC.gov to learn more. This is our community, our safety, our mission. Thank you.
Ebony, that was really beautiful. Thank you for those important like tips and guidelines for how to reduce gun violence, welcome aboard. And before we carry the vote, I would like to turn to the chairman.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Thank you, Dr. Scott. Ebony, it is so great to see you. I want to say congratulations, welcome. You did not become a leader. You were made for this moment. We can tell by your remarks, you're ready, and I'm so proud that you will be leading in this area. So thank you so much. I saw someone just clapping feverishly for you. Do you have anyone here with you that you would like to recognize? Please.
Yes, my mom and my daughter.
Will mom and daughter please stand up so you can be recognized? It's an honor to recognize both of you, and I want to say on behalf of the board, thank you so much for being here. Mom, obviously you did an amazing job. And so we want to honor you today and say thank you for lending us someone such as Ebony. And to you, young lady, I want you to remember this moment for the rest of your life, that your mother is making an impact on 1.2 million people. And she will leave a lasting and an indelible mark on this community. And I know you're proud, and we're proud as well. So thank you both.
Well, with that, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. Would you like to come down to receive it? Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Intended to do it.
Appreciate it. We're going to come back and take a picture, okay? Congratulations.
Just stop for a minute. I want to tell you that I think I understand your daughter's enthusiasm because I have it as well for you. You are just a very special person.
Really appreciate it.
I mean it. Yes, you're awesome. Yeah, so we might need your daughter down here for the picture.
Ask her to come down.
Thank you so much.
Come down. You too, Mom.
Mom, you can
Mom,
come
you
if you
too.
like, please.
We started the thing with the picture. I know. We're never going to get away from it.
Y'all want to scoot in?
Come on, come back to the middle.
Everybody.
Your daughter's coming for the picture.
She's excited. Come on over. That's so sweet.
That's the sweetest.
One more here for me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I return the gavel to you.
I think we've got a couple speakers, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Megan Hill here? Or Rafaela Vaca?
That's Megan right here, I think.
Oh, please come on down. You're registered to speak to this. Is it to this item?
I'm sorry?
They're only registered to speak to this.
To this, yeah, just to the proclamation.
Thank you, thank you. Please say your name.
Hi, my name's Megan Hill. I'm a
I'm sorry.
public school art teacher at Regis
Just,
Creek
I'm so sorry to
Elementary.
interrupt you. Just to confirm, you're here to speak to the Gun Violence Awareness Month proclamation?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. Please continue.
Yes, to a point. I am here to speak today because of the June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. As a teacher, I witness the daily impact that fear, trauma, and disinvestment have on our children. We ask them to learn while also preparing them to hide in plain sight. We tell them to stay focused while we fail to keep them safe. I've been teaching in CMS for 4 years. I've been teaching for 5. and I'm already exhausted from trying to stay afloat in this system that keeps asking more and giving less. When I came to Charlotte, I was excited to teach third grade, and one of my most vivid memories, though, from teaching those years was being told to carry on as usual after a student made a threat of violence at our school. 10 of my 17 students showed up that day. A facility, though, would not have helped me in that moment, and it would not help me now in my new classroom with 5 gorgeous windows that face the front of the school. No amount of training for this facility would really prepare you for the moment that you might have to interact with a child with a weapon. Gun violence prevention is what would stop that child from ever believing that a gun is something that would answer their pain caused by the broken system. I teach in Charlotte's high-need schools where we are under-resourced and over-policed. That imbalance is exactly what leads to these situations. We do not need a new training center. What we need are social workers, nurses, school counselors, and trauma-informed educators. We need investments in literacy, nutrition, and stability. We need care, not combat. Yet when our schools are begging for lunch money, you are quietly moving funding into a facility. Let's be clear, that's not really a first training center. It's also being involved with militarized police hubs, things like that, and this just feels dishonest. I do not want our schools used to mask this. I do not want my students growing up in a world where safety is defined by surveillance and force. You've moved money before, you can move it again. I teach my students to speak when something is wrong, and that's why I'm here. Please listen, please act. Thank you.
To confirm, this is the time to speak related to the Gun Violence Awareness Month proclamation.
Yes.
All right.
I was
Please
also a
proceed.
teacher, so thank you. Today, this county has recognized the national problem of gun violence. I am proud of our commissioners for doing this. Too often, young people are the main victims of guns. Sadly, the generation graduating from college right now is often called the school shooting generation. We have failed the youth by failing to prevent gun violence from spreading. This county could take their proclamation farther and do more to prevent gun violence in its schools. Right now, our commissioners are actively funding a project that would bring even more guns to a community college. Right next to a CMS school, our tax dollars are.
Yeah, your remarks are out of order. This is not the time or forum for
This
you
is
to-
about gun violence.
Hold on.
Right next to CMS school, our tax dollars are paying for more guns. We are told that safety measures will prevent guns from leaving
Right,
cops.
we're going to have to ask
That's
you
the
to
same
leave the
argument that
podium.
pro-gun people say. Just lock up the guns and school
Right now,
shootings
you're in violation of NCGS 143-318.17 by disrupting the meeting. You're subject to being escorted out of the meeting chamber and charged with a misdemeanor if you don't cease talking.
Cut off a mic.
You have to leave.
I'm talking about gun violence.
Mr. Officer, I'd like you to escort this young lady out of the chamber. Thank you.
Feces and bags and threw them around.
I'm sorry.
She dropped something from the balcony.
Yes, they did. I saw her drop it.
I don't know what it was dropped. It was
And
something that was
officer,
dropped.
apparently there's some things being dropped. There was someone sitting up here on the right-hand side.
Okay. Let's,
So I think,
all right. Well, I'm sorry, you're in charge.
excuse me one second. So I think if there are items being passed around with bugs or whatever we got going on, I'd like the officers to please check that out, please. If it's going up here to my right. So they've put, so that was the box that was being passed around up top.
Live bugs?
Right where you are at the top of the stairs, officer, those 5 people in that section, right over here, were passing around some level of box, exactly.
Here's the box you're talking about. There's signs.
Yeah, there's signs, right.
They dropped something over here.
Well, there are bugs up here,
Yep,
she's
I
saying.
think they,
There's the box. They got it right there. Just have them.
They dropped several also.
All right, we're gonna wait until we can get order, maintain order. It's a shame that we do this in front of the young lady like that. It's just shameful. 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 You can leave. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
That's right.
Anybody who's out of order, if you speak out of order without being recognized, you will be escorted out of this chamber, period. There's a time and place to be heard. Anyone can sign up to speak. And if you don't sign up to speak, from that, where you're sitting is not the place to address this body. We'll have order. We will not have disruption. I'll turn it back over to you, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe that concludes our proclamations, and we're now ready for public art moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, actually, no, there's no public art moment. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Actually, we have a special recognition part of the agenda tonight. And so, as most of you, as we've said earlier, tonight we want to recognize and we want to honor our county manager, Dina Diorio, who's retiring at the end of June. And of course, this will be her last formal meeting. And so to mark the occasion, Dina, we actually have 2 videos that we'd like to play in honor of your service to Mecklenburg County. And so the first video, everyone, is from one of our most important partners in the critical work of county government. And then the second video is from us, the Board of County Commissioners, in recognition of this important legacy that she's imparted to each of us. So I'm going to ask everyone to turn their attentions to the screen and watch these videos.
Dina, Dina, Dina. On behalf of the National Association of Counties, congratulations on your 37+ years of excellence in public service, including your achievement as the first woman county manager of Mecklenburg County. You will be sorely missed, yet your legacy will be felt forever. Your engagement and your authenticity, your passion and your energy, and your creativity and your results-oriented mindset set a new bar nationally for current and future county leaders. On a personal level, you've been an invaluable advisor and mentor that helped shape my mindset and approach. Yet we knew instantly, once we saw your big, glowing smile after your wedding and your honeymoon, that your priorities in life were shifting. Again, it's an honor to recognize you on behalf of America's counties for your distinguished and impactful career.
The thing that I appreciate most about Dina is her candidness. I like people who are straightforward. She tells you how things are. She tells you what the financial picture is, and we get the opportunity to make those decisions.
Having someone who you can always trust their word and take it to the bank, whether it's good news or not necessarily what you want to hear, is really, I think, one of the things that I appreciate most about her.
Her depth of knowledge really comes across. It comes out when you think about what we see at the retreat and during the retreat. As a leader in her position, leading an organization with a $2.5 billion budget, I think it's tremendous for us to have that level of confidence in the person that's leading this organization.
I appreciate just her knowledge, her experience. That experience is key, and knowing your community is key.
Dina's done a phenomenal job in laying out the numbers in terms of who we are, why we're here, where we're going.
I'm very appreciative of her analysis, how she very succinctly brings answers to questions that you may have.
I love her commitment to the stability of local government, and that is my favorite thing. Like, she is wholeheartedly committed to the stability of local government.
What I really do respect about her is that she listens to me, I listen to her, and I think we have a good relationship. And moving forward, I wish the best for her.
I love her strength and her confidence to tell people things that they don't always want to hear, because that's what the reality is on the ground, or, you know, that's just the difficult choices we have to make.
She's done a phenomenal job in terms of laying out the facts. I like the facts. I think Dina's depth of knowledge is unmatched. When I look at other counties across the state and even across the country, she is held in high regard, also internally. I mean, she has the respect of her team, respect of the board, respect of the community. The relationships that she's fostered have been amazing. And I would venture to say that she will go down as the GOAT, the greatest county manager of all time here in Mecklenburg County.
Dina, thank you for everything you have done for the county. I think we've made huge progress and have appreciated your leadership.
Thank you.
Well, we're all going to be here right now. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
So, excuse me, one second, Commissioner. We are all going to be heard. Everyone is going to get an opportunity to speak at this moment. But what I am going to do is I'm going to start with Commissioner Dunlap, because Dina and Commissioner Dunlap have shared an incredible bond with him serving as chair for the amount of years that he served as chair, the times that they both navigated not only this board but this community through. And so I certainly want to make sure that I give him the opportunity to speak first, and then we will go around the dais for each commissioner to share any additional thoughts that they'd like to share at this time. So, Commissioner Dunlap.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll try to be real brief because I know that everybody wants to talk, but I think this community understands that for the 6 years that I served as chair, Dina was the county manager. And I can tell you that it makes a difference to have a manager to show such strength throughout the things that we went through as my time as the chair of the board. The pandemic, everybody understands exactly what we went through. Just her tenacity and her ability to get things back on track, to develop a plan for this community to recover. She's delivered budgets every year that we've been able to support. And just the work that she's done for this community at large, not just in Charlotte, but throughout the nation. You heard from the executive director of the National Association of Counties, whom I have the pleasure of working with. And when I told him about Dina's retirement and asked if he would share a few words, he graciously agreed to do that because of the work that she has done across the nation. Also, the work that she did across the state. A lot of people don't realize that the opioid settlement was due largely in part of the work that Dina did throughout this state. I could talk about a lot of other things that she did, but I just want you to know, Dina. And most everybody probably knows it now, but we had this agreement that when I was no longer serving as chair, she was no longer going to serve as manager. And it wasn't just that simple. When she called to say that she was no longer going to serve, I asked her the question, why she wasn't going to serve. And I could not have thought of 3 more valid reasons that she gave me. And I am so proud of the fact that she kept true to her word. So Dina, for all the years we worked together, thank you so much for your service to me and to this county. And I can't forget the work that you did to help make sure that I became president of NACO. Thank you.
Commissioner Leek.
I sit here embarrassed. Every commissioner was asked to speak except me. Every one of you, and I know why. I was elected by the people of Mecklenburg County, and I served the people of Mecklenburg County. I had the opportunity to vote for the woman to be the manager. She came down the hall prepared to be the manager as we sat to interview her for her job. I spoke to the body. The woman had 2 pads in her hand, both of them yellow. One had the issues And in the right hand, she had all of the answers we needed to make it happen. But as I sit here tonight, I feel isolated by 8 people who sit here and did not ask me to participate in the process. But I'm still serving. And I've nominated these people to serve as chair of this body. And then one tried to get rid of me. Worked hard to get me out of my seat representing District 2. Said I was too old to sit here, that I needed to go home and not serve. But you know, I serve a living God. And the people know that I've worked in this community. And I was happy to vote for you to be the manager of this awesome body that work for the people. And I will continue to work for the people. And you're not going to stop me, nor are you going to make it difficult for me to be a part of this board. I am a member of this board, and I serve the people of District 2, one of the hardest working commissioners you have on this board.
Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have to set the record straight that I had no idea we were doing this tonight. I think a lot of us didn't know that we would be making comments tonight. So I don't have the greatest hits or anything prepared. Darn. Gosh, it could have been so good. But I just do want to say, that Dina, you and I haven't always seen eye to eye, but I really do. I feel like our the way we see has matured over the last 6 or 7 years. And I want to say that I really do respect you, and I thank you for all that you have done. I really recognize your accomplishments, and I think you're a fantastic female leader, and I love the example that you've set in that way. I think it's really important. And so I just really do want to thank you for all that you've done, and to know I really feel a deep affection for you, even though we don't always agree.
Thank you.
I mean, it means a lot that you understand.
I do.
Thank you.
Commissioner Powell.
So I didn't know we were having a speech either, but it's easy for me to think of things. And so I'm thinking back on one of the first deep encounters I had with Dina before I was elected. And so we were in a Town of Cornelius meeting, and she was standing up before all these angry citizens and talking about how she was going to right the ship. She was trying to right the ship, and everybody was really mean, and nobody was sticking up for her. So I stood up and stuck up for her. And she came up to me later and she said, thank you for that, but, and she wasn't even county manager yet. She goes, thank you for that, but I can take care of myself. And so I think of that a lot because I still have your back. You know, like, I can't stand to see people bullied, and you were just trying to communicate. So it has been very nice to share this journey with such a strong woman and a strong leader, and I'm very thankful for that. And when, Commissioner Dunlap was talking about it, I knew you were in the right place at the right time with the right heart when the pandemic came, because my office bumped up to yours, and I could hear you and Derek talking, and I felt so comforted by that. And that's what I said in the video, that your focus on stability of government was unwavering. And some people crumble and you see all their weaknesses in moments like that, but I saw all of your strength. And so really it's been really nice to share this journey with you, and I'm really glad that, and I don't know if this is what Commissioner Dunlap meant, I'm really glad that you're retiring so that you can enjoy retirement, because so many people never get that chance.
Yes.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
And I am grateful. I'm just grateful for all of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you so much. I too didn't know we were doing this because I could have had a list. But what am I going to say about Dina? I really do have a ton of respect for you. I remember I had just been elected and we disagreed one of many times. And you said, whatever you said, then you said, Laura, didn't faze me. But then later you came to me and you said, that was really disrespectful. I should have called you Commissioner Meyer. That won't happen again. And I was not offended, but I had a lot of respect for you for saying that. You didn't have to say that. And, you know, over these few years that I've been here, you clearly have respect for us, and we clearly have respect for you. I too agree with Commissioner Rodriguez and McDowell. I love that you are a woman out there working for the people. That means a lot to me. And I really don't believe you're done. I think you are not going to stop working. I don't believe it. But I hope you do enjoy retirement, golf, whatever it is you do, and enjoy your life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Griffin.
I can only say I'm the newest kid on the block. I got somebody else to take my place, Dina. I've been in public service for a long time, off and on, and as an individual who's committed themselves in the public space, I certainly understand the trials and tribulations that you go through. Certainly appreciate your consistency and your focus. I will always remember, I think I was brand new, and you heard something about Second Ward High School. And I don't know how much you knew previously about Second Ward, but when you heard that it was a 100-year-old celebration, you said, well, maybe we can do something. And that partnership really elevated and re-energized this entire community around the notion of Brooklyn and the experiences of those who lived in that part of the town. I attribute that success as it unfolded the other day, yesterday I think it was, with the Pearl, because so many people engaged not only in terms of the new Pearl Street Park, but also what's going on there. And I think I'd like to give you credit as relates to just raising the profile, as people across this country heard about that July event that we had at the gymnasium. And I think that's reflective of your commitment to justice. I also am reminded of our conversations about data, and had I known this, I still have your big spreadsheet you gave me a retreat ago at the last day of the retreat. I keep that on my desk to remind me of data. But more recently, I saw your comments on Joe Bruno. And you made a comment, and I loved it. And that was advice. And that advice was, don't let the commissioners get into administration. So I want to say, we can't let the county manager get into policy. So you'll be gone, all right? But it's been enjoyable because you like to you like to fight, and I like to fight. So I think we both learned something. And just recently with the budget, you made some recommendations. You made us raise your hand. I stuck with that. I said, if it's not successful, do it. And I'll stick with that for the rest of my life. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Commissioner Townsend.
I am the newest one, so I can take that proudly, that mantle on. But I did know you even before then within the community. Your reputation precedes you. And I will say this. I enjoy working with you immensely because you are one of those people that you don't waffle. You make a point, you stick to it. You ask a question, you answer it. There is no if, ands, or buts. And I appreciate that so very much. And what's more, I understand it in the type of patriarchal society and world that we're in. And I thank you for that. I thank you for the way that you serve and the way that you lead. I wish you all the best in the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Altman.
So when I was elected, it was right when Mecklenburg County and the world was shutting down. And when I was actually sworn in, it was when the vaccines were literally being delivered to the doorstep of Mecklenburg County. And, you know, I laid awake at night wondering and hoping and worrying, were we doing the most that we could do at every moment of those critical days to protect people from dying? And I can tell you that with Dina Diorio at the helm, I've really slept very well. She is, to quote our illustrious chairman, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, so much so that I have to get you a little going away present. So if you'll please pass this down to the county manager. You really are the GOAT, Dina. And I have to say that, you know, you never sort of talk about yourself or your leadership like as a woman, but I have to echo what Commissioner Townsend Ingram and Powell and others have said. As a woman leading, I am so inspired by your strength, your unabashed strength, your unabashed authenticity when you make the hard calls. A lot of people, most people don't do it that well. They don't do it the way you do, and it's really just, it's inspirational. I've learned so much from you, and I love the way that when things were difficult, you never hid. You know, if there was something of consequence with Mecklenburg County, our county manager was out in front, taking the hits, taking the hard questions, never shying away. And I love that about you. I have so much respect for you. And I think I've said it before, and I want to repeat it here for everyone who's listening. For me, the legacy of Dina Diorio is putting the public first. Doesn't matter who she may displease. It may be commissioners, it may be people out in the community, it may be favored this group, favored that group. She always put the community first, using her best judgment. And that level of integrity to serve the public is the gold standard. So you are the gold standard, you are the GOAT, and I'm also going to call you a friend. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So I want to thank my colleagues. I do want my colleagues to know that you will have a chance to prepare remarks on another day because Dina will be coming back. Okay, so everyone will have plenty of time to prepare. You can start now, and you've got a few weeks, and she'll be back here for another very special recognition. So let me start out by saying that. The next thing I want to say is, Dina, there'll be some things that you've heard me say over the years, over and over again, and I think it's worth repeating. But a few things I do want to share. I heard a quote one time, and it was talking about leadership. And so the quote was, leadership is not about being in charge, but it's about taking care of those in your charge.
That's right.
And I remember when I heard that, I thought of you. And it's something that stuck with me. And over these 6+ years since I had the opportunity to sit up here, I had the privilege to sit here, I've learned a tremendous amount from you by watching how you lead an organization, how you lead teams, how you interact with people. One of the things you've heard me say before, and it was just so striking to me when I looked at your executive team. And a lot of people talk about diversity, they talk about equity, they talk about inclusion. And, you know, I looked at your team and that spoke volumes to me. So even when we disagreed or something, it never occurred to me, it never came in my mind that it had anything to do with anything other than just what your opinion was. Because when I looked at your executive team and I saw people that looked like me, and I understood that those folks were in the room, and then I saw women and leading, and I just thought it was such an amazing sight. And I've told you, I've said that, and I've also said that you should teach a class to executives all over on how to put those things into practice. And I really mean that. And when I say it, I just think that is something that very few executives have achieved, have provided an opportunity for people and provided a space where it was truly based on merit and who was the best, who could round out the team and perform. And then you never lowered the standard. No one on your team could say that, could be questioned that they were there other than for their talent and what they brought to the table. And I just think that is tremendous. And when I say you're the GOAT, I mean that. You certainly are the greatest of all time that we've had here in Mecklenburg County.
Thank you.
And put you up against anybody across the country. And I've just been honored to be able to serve with you. The final thing I would say is, one thing I always knew was when I came up with a bright idea for an initiative, and you're like, no, we can't do it, I always knew that really that was I learned that was a challenge for you to figure out, okay, I'm going to do it. You love a challenge. You really love a challenge. And I learned that about you over these years. And, I would set the bar really high on things that we could do. And I knew after you processed and you understood what it could potentially mean to the community, that we would find a way to do it. And I think I've told you before, I think you were a victim of just what I knew you could do and what I believed you can do. And it's just been an honor to be able to serve alongside you, with you, learn from you. And I just want to say thank you for everything.
Thank you. Is it okay if I do my remarks now?
Please, I know we had it planned, but yes.
Okay. But I knew I was going to do them, so I did have an opportunity to prepare in advance. So, as this is my last board meeting, I'd like to share some words and personal reflections. First, I want to say thank you. There have been so many people who have helped me along this incredible journey. People like Ron Kimball, Tom Murray, and Michael Smith, who helped me understand the economic development landscape in Mecklenburg County. Danny Morrison, who taught me everything I didn't know about amateur sports and its critical importance to the brand of Mecklenburg County. Michael Marsicano, who taught me how to navigate the corporate community at the most senior levels and was instrumental in helping me raise the money to launch Mech Pre-K. He schooled me on the history of Charlotte and how we grew to be the great city and county that we are today. Laura Clark and Shanavia Montgomery, who live into their passion every day and believe that we can do better as a community. They taught me to believe that making a difference in a single person's life is meaningful and to be grateful for every triumph. Tony Zeiss, who sat me down during my first week as county manager and gave me a list of organizations and events that were required for me to attend. It was important to be seen and see others. He also made me join Charlotte Rotary, which is where I met my husband Phil, which has truly changed my life. To all those individuals that are members of our Lotta Place Steering Committee, who took me on a professional and profoundly personal journey about slavery and racism. Their incredible patience as I asked questions and searched for the correct words to express my feelings was so kind, and I'm eternally grateful. I am not the same person because of that experience. My close friend, Candy Diedemeyer, who taught me about grace under pressure, taught me the importance and value of faith and spirituality, taught me about staying true to your core values no matter what, and to persevere no matter the circumstances. Chris Peak, my first assistant county manager. I became county manager under adverse circumstances, and Chris helped me navigate the many organizational and personnel challenges, was my sounding board and confidant, and helped me craft and execute my vision for the county. The members of my executive team. Derek, who is the master of details and is always committed to getting it right, has an incredible work ethic and has a quiet and unassuming way of getting people to do exactly what he wants. Leslie, who has mastered the difference between educating and advocating, has the patience of a saint, and has a creative and innovative spirit. Anthony, who is the master at developing people, partnerships, and relationships, can skillfully put out multiple fires at the same time, can solve problems with ease, and can see my vision clearly even when it appears cloudy to me. And Mike, I'm not surprised that you have risen to become the next county manager. I have watched you grow personally and professionally over the past 18 years and develop your skills as a leader, and I expect you will do great things. The five of us have been through a lot together, and I'm truly grateful for your partnership and support, but most of all, your friendship. My first husband, Robert, who believed in me when I did not believe in myself, taught me to be my own best advocate, supported me unconditionally even when others were critical and disparaging. I would not be here had it not been for his love and support. He was my true champion. And to the Board of County Commissioners, I've had the opportunity to work for many boards over my 11 years as county manager. I have been so fortunate to have had board members that have given me the trust and latitude to pursue the many initiatives that we are known for. It has been a true gift. Commissioner Townsend Ingram, I appreciate and applaud your passion for behavioral health issues. In your short tenure on the board, I have seen you find your voice on that and other issues, and I know you will continue to grow in your role as county commissioner. Commissioner Griffin, I appreciate your love of data. You are firm in your belief that we can do better, and we are better because of it. But I really want to thank you for your teaching me about Second Ward. You taught me to love and appreciate the history and significance of that special place. You keep the history and stories of those people alive who otherwise would have no voice and would likely be forgotten. Commissioner Meyer, thank you for being exactly who you are. You are authentic and genuine. Your passion for education is inspiring, and is obvious it comes from a place of personal experience and passion and not political expediency. You serve with compassion, you have a big heart, and it shows in your work. Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell, Commissioner Cotham once said to me about you, she said, "She lives to torment you." And while I don't believe And while I don't believe that is entirely true, I do believe that you did your best to challenge me to be better. I do appreciate that you are a fierce advocate for the issues you care about. You serve your constituents well. The voice of South Mecklenburg is strong, and that is due to you ensuring their views are front and center when important decisions are being made. Commissioner Powell, you have single-handedly made environmental stewardship a primary policy platform for the county. The impact of that work is transformational and will positively impact future generations. Your passion is contagious, your smile is infectious, and you are a joy to be around. The world is truly a better place because you are in it. And don't ever stop doing the Snoopy dance.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dunlap, you were my chairman for 6 years. I will always appreciate your unwavering support of me and my team and allowing us to do the work of the county unfettered. You are a true scholar of public administration and understand how government is supposed to work and the distinct roles of the manager and the board. Your respect for me and my role allowed me to lead with confidence, and I am grateful for the time we had to work together. Commissioner Altman, I've so enjoyed working with you. I love strategizing with you, commiserating with you, going into battle with you, and celebrating our victories. We share the same faith, and our conversations about that will stay with me. I appreciate your willingness to listen to all sides of an issue before making a decision and being direct about where you stand. You are honorable and a person of high integrity, and that is truly refreshing. Commissioner Jarrell, you have been a great chairman. I appreciate your willingness to be inclusive, make sure every voice is heard, and make the tough decisions when needed. You are a leader of the future, and I know you will take this county to new heights. Your energy is infectious, and people want to be around you because they know great things will happen. I look forward to watching you and what comes next. I also want to thank you for the tours of the Far East. Commissioner Vilma D. Leek, I would not be here if not for you. You have been my champion and supporter every single day for the last 11 and a half years. We went into the community together and made the lives better for people who live there. You introduced me to the pastors group, many of whom have become my friends and even officiated my wedding. You got angry with me more times than I can count, but you never lost faith in me or my ability to lead this county. You have given me sage advice on more than one occasion and not only made me a better leader, but even a better person. Your passion for your district and your seniors is contagious, and you have proven time and time again that age is not a hindrance, but a gift that should be cherished. I will be forever grateful for your friendship. So in closing, it has been an honor and privilege to serve this great county for the past 18 years. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you, colleagues. Madam Clerk, before we move on with the agenda, I understand we should probably take a recess for cleanup. Okay, everybody, unfortunately, we're going to have to take a 10-minute recess to be able to clean up the bug situation that we've got working, apparently. So we will reconvene at 7:55, let's say. Ready to get started. I want everybody to please find your seats before we reconvene.
Thanks for being here tonight.
Am I waiting on Griff?
I do. How are you, sir?
Just saying, yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Here comes the attorney.
I can't remember his name.
All right, everyone, we're going to move forward with the agenda. I want to thank Environmental Services for coming in. Thank you so much for your help, ma'am. And then we're going to move to the next portion of the agenda, which is public appearance. So I'm going to read the rules for public appearance, and then I'll make a brief statement after that. Public appearance is the period during the board's regular meeting that members of the public are provided the opportunity to speak on matters not appearing on the agenda. Members of the public who appear during the public appearance portion of a regular meeting may discuss any matter within the jurisdiction of the Board of County Commissioners, except for the following types of matters: a matter which appears on the agenda of that meeting of the board, a matter which concerns the candidacy of any person for public office, including the candidacy of the person appearing before the board, a request that the board considers funding a certain program or activity, either from the current budget or by inclusion in a future budget. Such requests would be made at the board's annual budget public hearing. Time limit for speaking is 3 minutes unless there are 4 more speakers who wish to speak concerning the same matter, in which case all persons wishing to speak on the same matter will be considered a group and given a total of 10 minutes. The board reserves the right to alter these rules on a case-by-case basis as necessary for the efficient and effective conduct of business. Members of the board will not engage in dialogue with public appearance speakers. Comments will be received and followed up on as applicable by county staff and/or members of the board. Handouts and/or tokens shall be given to the clerk for distribution to the board at the conclusion of the meeting. Members of the public can also access and view the meeting on the government channel online at watch.MeckNC.gov. So for public appearance, we have 3 speakers. The first speaker is going to be former Commissioner Lloyd Shear. Then we also have Vianney Lopez and Kaya Allen. And you can make your way down to the podium. Lloyd, if you want to use this bottom mic, you can. Okay. If you'll come to the mic for us, Lloyd, that would be great. Just take your time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I thank each of you for your service and thank your families because they serve even though they didn't run. I know that we wanted to look at a 1-cent sales tax vote this fall. Please forgive me if I stutter. I have Parkinson's disease, which has gotten that way. I am looking at some alternatives. When I traveled as a county commissioner or doing my basketball stuff, we went to different cities. Houston charges $3 per night, and that money goes to the football, baseball, and basketball facilities. At one community, I paid $1.25, and that was so it went to the police, the fire department, medic, and community transportation, and the hotel gave us a bus pass or a pass for the use of the subway system. I look at that as an alternative that you don't have to go to Raleigh, you don't have to spend money on a campaign, but it would have helped raise some funds that we need and we're going to need for the future. On a personal note, Dina, you followed 2 great county managers, Jerry Fox, the late Harry Jones, and you just came in a long line to continue to provide services for this county. I remember calling you when you won a national award, and you spent time talking with me. All of y'all made a very good decision in hiring Dina. I may shake, I may stutter. I will be applying for other things, and I hope I'll get the respect that I'm showing each of you. I love serving this county. It's the first time in my life I am not serving on a board since I was 18. I hope and pray that the next time you'll hear what I have to say, and you know you're going to get someone that's qualified. With that, I wish you the best of luck, and I wish you would look at alternatives that do. See, if you did the fees, it doesn't affect local taxpayers. And we have over 125,000 hotel rooms over the year, and that money helps provide for the police that's helping protect all those people that are here. Thank you again. Thank you, Dina, for your service. May God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Vianney Lopez. Chairman Jarrell, I would like to start out by thanking you for your response to my email regarding your willingness to consider a community meeting on the topic of CPCC's police training facility, and I hope we can make that happen. I commend the board's gun violence awareness proclamation. It is important to recognize that gun violence problem in our country, especially as it relates to the Black residents in our county that are disproportionately affected by gun violence. We need to take that information and go a step further in recognizing that gun violence does not happen in a vacuum. I think everyone would agree that prevention is important and that prevention starts with investing in what communities need and divesting from what they don't. With that said, I would like to again request that this board hold a public meeting on the $116 million CPCC police training facility, as there was never a public meeting for this project. I think the wider community should have the opportunity to provide input on what our tax dollars are going toward and how that will benefit us over other needs that we have. I will say that I'm disappointed in how you all did not allow the earlier speaker to finish her speech. I understand you all want this attention to this training facility to go away, but this is what happens when the public is not given the opportunity to provide input on such an expensive and environmentally detrimental project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. I'm speaking tonight just not as a concerned mother and citizen, but as someone who's spent the last several months digging through spreadsheets, emails, budget documents, agendas. I'm happy about the proclamation tonight, especially because it said that violent crime is down in Charlotte. You even thank nonprofits, schools, community workers for creating safer communities. So that's why I'm a little confused about this $118 million facility hidden from the public, built on public or education land, birthed in a backroom deal involving CPCC, Hendrick Auto, and rezoning favors that were never disclosed to the people footing the bill. We know the land for this project was donated to CPCC by Rick Hendrick in exchange for getting his own nearby land rezoned to the most intense category, heavy industrial. That's not education, that's real estate speculation hiding behind a badge. This project was sold to the public as a manufacturing campus, a jobs hub, then behind closed doors it became a compound with multiple tactical shooting ranges, a mock urban town for riot drills and active shooter simulations, burn towers, VR combat labs, high-speed driving course, and yes, invitations sent to ICE, DHS, and the FBA, all in a 3-day planning session we now have PDFs for. And don't tell this is just a local training facility. It was designed from the start to be regional, with other states sending their officers to train in tactics. We are funding Trump's federal agenda at the local level through a loophole in education funding. You've cut CMS, ignored basic needs like childcare and food security, and now you're rubber stamping a paramilitary compound on education land. Meanwhile, multiple commissioners have admitted in writing that they didn't understand what they were voting for. That's negligence. And now there's a lawsuit from residents over First Amendment retaliation and open meeting law violations. So here's what we demand. Delay this project, audit funding and zoning process, release the contractor plans and permit applications, hold a public town hall before a single more dollar is spent, and if you don't, we'll keep showing up, organizing, filming, and exposing every piece of this corruption until not one corner is left dark. Please do not tell us that you do not have the power to change the budget. You amended CPC's allocations before, you can do it again. You want to proclaim June as Gun Violence Awareness Month? Start by not building a taxpayer-funded shooting range next to our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, we're going to move to appointments. And Commissioner Powell, we have Park and Rec Commission coming up first, but there are a couple of appointments before we get to the ones that you wanted to address, okay? All right. At this time, reappointment is needed on the Park and Rec Commission for 2 3-year terms expiring June 30th, 2028. Andy Filsick and Dolores Sabawale.
So moved.
Sabawale are eligible for reappointment. I'm sorry. The commission chair recommends both of them. Is there a motion to reappoint Andy and Dolores?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any unreadiness? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. Next is, we need to approve the term extension request for Ann Harrison on the Park and Rec Commission for one-year term expiring June 30th, 2026. Commission Chair states that there are no applicants available for several of the regions in the north area of the county where Ann resides.
So moved.
Second.
I think there's an unreadiness.
And I can speak to why we asked.
But if there's not an unreadiness, I think we're ready to
Okay.
carry the motion.
Okay.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it, and you are approved for your term extension. And at this time, before I entertain a motion to fill the 1 3-year term expiring June 30th, 2028 for Northern Town slot, I know Starla Tanner is being recommended for that. And then we also have another slot, the North 2 slot, that Boris Henderson is being recommended for, and Commissioner Powell would like to speak to this and sort of rearrange it. So Commissioner Powell?
No, you said it the way that I think it's best. So the recommendation that came from the chair of the Park Commission, I disagree with it a little. So I wanted to nominate Starla Tanner for the Northern Town slot, and I wanted to nominate Boris Henderson for the North 2 slot, and Brad Chambers for the North 3 slot.
Okay.
So
all right, so it's been moved and seconded for.
Nominate Starla.
She nominated, so here's how it's going. It's Starla Tanner for the Northern Town slot. It is Boris Henderson for the North 2 slot, and Brad Chambers for the North 3 slot.
Okay.
So it's been moved and seconded. Is there any unreadiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioner Powell.
Snoopy dance.
Okay. Congrats, everyone. All right, let's move to the Community Relations Committee. Reappointments are needed on the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Community Relations Committee for 4 3-year terms expiring June 30th, 2028, effective July 1st, 2025. Mia Jackson, Sharon Scott, Thomas Schaffner, and Cheryl Tuning are all eligible for reappointment. Is there a motion to reappoint?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any unreadiness? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Madam Clerk, that's unanimous. Next, we're going to move to the Jury Commission. Nominations or appointment is needed on the Jury Commission to fill 1 2-year term expiring June 30th, 2027, effective July 1st, 2025. Just as a side note, Johnny Davis Shields did not seek reappointment.
Can we nominate people from that list? I think, isn't there like?
Yeah, so all of these folks on this list, Madam Clerk, have been nominated already, right? So now we need
That
to.
is correct.
Now we need to take the vote to see where that's going to fall. So Commissioner Dunlap.
Before we take a vote, we do have the opportunity to advocate. And
Thank
I would
you.
advocate for Brandy Falls.
For Brandy Falls. Does anybody else want to advocate for anyone on the list? Commissioner Powell.
I will advocate for Janine Lafferty on District 1.
Janine Lafferty, and then Commissioner Griffin.
Brandy Falls.
Okay, and then Commissioner Townsend Ingram.
Is Queen Thompson on that list? I thought she was.
Yes, she is. She's on the list.
I would just like to advocate for Queen Thompson.
Okay.
She's a remarkable individual and educator. So.
Who was nominated?
Queen Thompson.
Okay.
She's advocating for Queen Thompson. So there's 4 names on the list. Just so everybody's clear, there is, we're going to fill 1 2-year term. So what we're going to do is go by show of hands. I'm going to start at the top of the list and work our way down. All those for Brandy Falls, let's see by show of hands. 1, 2, 3. All right. Janine Lafferty. 1, 2, 3. Abdulio Odin. Queen Thompson. 1, 2, 3. All right. So right now, there were 3 votes for Brandy Falls, 3 votes for Janine Lafferty, 1 vote for Abdulio Odin, and 3 votes for Queen Thompson. Does anybody drop off the list, Madam Clerk, or do we just, we drop the lowest vote getter? So now we're down to 3. Brandy Falls, let's see by show of hands. 1, 2, 3. Janine Lafferty. 3. Queen Thompson.
I feel we're at an impasse.
All right, there was 3 again, so that was.
You're kidding me.
So we gotta take it, we gotta go to a 3rd round. We get 4
Oh, you
rounds.
can't speak. Can you speak?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Maybe it would be helpful, I received outreach from Brandy Falls. I think she maybe sent an email to all of us. So that's the only outreach that I've received from any of the applicants. If any of my colleagues can bring forward additional reasons why their advocated candidate has expressed an interest or connection for this particular board, that would help me maybe get us out of this tie situation.
Okay. Knowing that we have 2 more rounds, I think that's a great suggestion as well. Commissioner Griffin, you had something.
Yeah, I just want to speak for Brandy Falls. We always talk about young people not participating. Not that age is a super factor, but it's clearly an important factor for me that we have young people that want to provide community service, and this young lady certainly did, and she sent an email also.
Okay. Any other comments before we go to round 3? All right, Brandy Falls, let's see by show of hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, well, that's the slot then, everybody, Brandy Falls. Congratulations, Brandy. All right, next we're going to move to Groundwater Advisory Committee. Appointment is needed on the Groundwater Advisory Committee to fill 1 unexpired term expiring July 31st, 2026. It's the industry slot.
So moved.
Is there a motion to nominate and appoint Dawn Crow?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any in readiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. Appointment is needed on the Groundwater Advisory Committee to fill 1 3-year term expiring July 31st, 2028. It's the Realtor slot.
So moved.
Can nominate and appoint Jonathan Manuel. It's been moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any in readiness? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. All right, now we will move to the manager's report. Madam Manager, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have 2 items under my manager's report tonight. The first is a presentation about a gun violence prevention art installation, and I'd like to invite Deputy County Manager Dr. Leslie Johnson to the podium.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Again, good evening, Commissioners. As already noted, tonight is the National Gun Violence Awareness Month. Hence, I am honored to have the opportunity to share with you highlights of the gun violence prevention art installation, which was a pilot visual awareness campaign for Mecklenburg County. This initiative was a partnership between Park and Recreation, Public Health, and the Arts and Science Council. With me this evening are members from the team, and I ask at this time for those individuals to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. The team had a few others, but they had other obligations, but they were great contributors to this project. Now, this project team's overarching objective was threefold. It was to create an opportunity to share artwork that could illustrate a message, encourage thoughtful discussion, and elevate awareness about an important issue. This campaign created what we can call neighborhood art. Gun violence prevention was the identified topic because, like other communities across the United States, violence is one of the most significant health problems in Mecklenburg County, not just because of death and injury, but also because of the harm, fear, and trauma caused to individuals, families, and neighborhoods. In fact, violence in any form, but particularly gun violence, can lead to a broad range of physical and mental health problems that disproportionately impact children, youth, and communities of color. The experiences of victims and survivors impacted by gun violence weigh heavily on our community. And as public servants, there's a role for us to respond to the rallying cry for action. The way forward is a 5-year plan with goals and strategies aimed to reduce homicides and gun-related assaults. And this pilot visual awareness campaign aligns to that plan. The county team, in collaboration with the Arts and Science Council, selected 5 local artists who created beautiful and thoughtful images focused on gun violence prevention. Each piece was printed on a banner and displayed in prominent outdoor locations from March through May this year at 5 park and rec facilities. The artwork was also printed and remains housed in the lobbies of each of these facilities. The first piece is called Am I Next? It's by artist John Harrison Jr. It depicts a youth candlelight vigil with attendees posing the question of how many more, as well as elevating the call to action to protect our kids, who are our future. The blue mosaic background represents the many lives that are shattered by gun violence on a day-to-day basis. The young girl with the candle looks up in prayer or meditation while mourning. Her upward gaze suggests hope for a cease in violence. This piece is at West Charlotte Rec Center. Next is Inherent Dignity by artist Ingrid Swanson, which illustrates the pointless and vicious cycle of violence, the beauty of each person's potential, and the reality of society's interconnectedness. Incorporated in this piece is a quote for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It reads, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness." The artist wants to uplift the message that living with hatred in your heart will not heal its brokenness, and hopes that this artwork inspires the reflection of valuing and honoring lives. This piece is at Arbor Glen Recreation Center. Growth Not Guns by artist Osiris Rain explores the theme of creation versus destruction, emphasizing how a change in perspective can lead to peaceful resolution instead of violence. The design features 2 handguns forming glasses on a child's face, symbolizing the lens from which we view the world. The flowers and images of life bloom represent the beauty and potential that arise when we choose peace over violence. This piece is at Sugarwall Creek Recreation Center. Seeding Hope by artist Marcus Kaiser demonstrates togetherness in the face of adversity by depicting a glitched handshake in a graphic style. The glitch, an error or disturbance often found in video games and other media, represents the way gun violence fractures communities and those that were lost to violence. In contrast, the plant growing from the embraced hand represents hope. This piece is at Betty Ray Thomas Rec Center. And Out of the Streets and Into the Fields. And Out of the Streets into the Fields by artist Abel Jackson shows alternatives to gun violence by focusing on sports and activities that take place at Revolution Sports Academy and Park, the site where these 2 companion pieces are displayed. The public health team, with support from Park and Rec, held a youth summit with the theme, Violence Free Begins With Me. 100 youth attended the summit to learn and engage and to promote gun violence prevention. 4 of the 5 artists also attended the youth summit and had the opportunity to engage with students, explain their work, and the inspiration behind it. The teens were also made or able to meet and talk to the artists one-on-one. And for many, having access to an artist or artists was a brand new and memorable experience. We are proud of the collaboration to spotlight gun violence prevention through a neighborhood art initiative. These artworks are now county-owned, and as such, we plan to continue to promote the art and its message. In fact, Public Health's Office of Violence Prevention has ordered stickers with the artwork for distribution to the community. The art was not in museums or galleries, but rather in our neighborhoods, viewable from sidewalks and streets, and to be seen by our residents as part of their day-to-day experiences. Again, this was a pilot visual awareness campaign. The genesis of the concept or the idea was a recommendation of Mecklenburg County's COVID-19 Renewal and Recovery Task Force. The task force identified an opportunity to connect with visual professionals, students, schools, and more to create educational content. More specifically, the task force action calls for the art to be created to promote healthcare access, healthy habits, safety, prevention, treatment, and care options. So in conclusion, I'll reinforce that art is a powerful tool for promoting awareness, providing opportunity for self-reflection, being a catalyst for discussion, and sparking social change. Thank you.
Thank you. Were there some quick comments or any questions? Commissioner Griffin and then Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell, and we'll go to the right.
No, I think the artwork is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It speaks to the issue. I'm wondering, in addition to the pieces on at the various locations, is there any other way we can distribute and share these visual messages? Because they are powerful. So if you haven't thought about electronically how to do that, doing campaigns, you can do stuff that gets on your phone automatically. Our kids live on their phones. And if there's some way that we could do that to add value to these beautiful renditions, I would really be very supportive.
Sure, the team will be open to exploring. Like I said, Public Health has already decided at one step, they've ordered some stickers that they're hoping to pass out to the community so they can have smaller versions of these pieces of artwork. They had really hoped that it was going to be here today, but it looks like the delivery isn't going to happen until tomorrow. But I think the team, because it was a pilot initiative, said, okay, wow, we have an opportunity to do more. We have the opportunity to figure out what are the ways that we can leverage this type of medium to make connections and, like I said, have that self-reflection as well as other ways to be catalysts for change. So yes, I think we're open to that.
Thank you. Commissioner Powell, then Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell.
So I love not just the art, but I love where they're placed. Like the placement matches the rec center. So, and it just, here's another thing that Park and Rec is involved in that is done so extremely well. And thank you for this. Thank you.
It was a joint team. It was Park and Rec. It was also Arts and Science Council, and it definitely was Public Health. We all rolled up our sleeves together. It was a we effort to make it all happen. And what I would say is Public Health, we understood the COVID Recovery Renewal Task Force recommendation, and then we said, okay, well, what's going to be the topic? And then, like I said, it ended up with gun violence prevention. And then with Public Health's input, it was also being intentional to figure out, well, what zip codes, neighborhoods are in most need for this catalyst of engagement. And so that's how we identified some of the rec centers to try to correlate data with where we wanted to place them.
I love it because I was looking at when I didn't know where they were hung until I read like I looked at the picture and then saw where it went. And I thought, this is perfect. And so I thank you for bringing up team, because team matters. And it's just, sometimes people think Park and Rec is just like, exercising, but it's like so much more than that. And I just like to point that out. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And likewise, some people think that art isn't a powerful tool. But to quote Dr. Leslie Johnson, art is a powerful tool. So I just want to say I am just really supportive of this direction, and I hope that somehow the COVID task force folks who felt that their voices didn't really end up mattering, I hope that they realize that, this was government speed and their voices really did matter, and something actually came from their suggestion. I think this is fantastic, and I really appreciate everybody who contributed to this, and I hope we do more things like this. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Townsend Ingram.
So I think it's absolutely fabulous, too. The artwork is just phenomenal, amazing. Like you said, I would like to purchase it, and I understand where it is, and it's for the public. But there are a couple of pieces that I would just love if it was ever for sale to purchase, if we can duplicate it. But I also want the community to know about this wider. I want this to be published. WSOC TV, WBTV, somebody, first of all, publish the fact that you had 3 groups working together collaboratively to get this done. This is, yes, your tax dollars at work. This is us doing the hard work behind the scenes, and I say us, but I mean them, doing the hard work behind the scenes. I want them to understand, the community to understand, that it's not just about, that they go deeper and they understand the issues, and there's other stuff being done to ensure that our community is whole, that we do everything that we can to make our community whole. So I want this report. I want it out there. I want somebody to feature this, please, and thank you.
Thank you.
The good is that for the summit, we did have some media coverage there, and so there was a small snippets with regards to the engagement with the artists, seeing the pieces and the like. But again, there's always opportunity to use this and ignite it and have it do more.
Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. I'm amazed. This is beautiful. Thank you so much, all of you who took a part of this, and I just really appreciate it. I have a request. Would you please repeat that very last sentence that you read?
I sure can. I told you, I reaffirmed that art is a powerful tool and that it is instrumental in doing an array of things. Oh, Lord, what did I write down as my quote? Otherwise, I'm gonna have to wing it for you if I can't find what I said.
Art is a powerful tool, but
But basically, I said art is a powerful tool for promoting awareness, providing opportunity for self-reflection, being a catalyst for discussion, and sparking social change.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Commissioner Leek.
Thank you. I would like to see if we could, if the art is stationed at a given school, that school would have a representative here to be a part of the process in the presentation. Does it sound out of order?
Could you repeat the question to make sure I'm clear with what you're asking?
It wasn't a question, it was a statement.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make sure I'm clear on what the ask is.
I'm asking that, say, for example, if one of the art designs are at a school or located at the site of a school in the district, could a representative from the school be a part of the presentation that's being made so that community would be aware that we are recognizing that particular art?
I understand your question.
And it wouldn't take up that much time because the commissioner representative would be making the presentation, but to recognize a student or a staff member from the school for the community's sake.
Well, sure, I think we could work towards that. What I would note is that...
Speak a little louder, please.
I said, yes, I think that we could work towards that. What I noted is that each of these pieces currently are at a recreation center, and not at a school. They're at park and recreation centers is where they are, since they're county-owned pieces of art. The artists are in the area, and so there are opportunities for us to, if we so choose, to see if they have the availability to be present again. Like I said, at the summit that we had, 4 of the 5 artists were present. But there's opportunity for us to continue to use this artwork and galvanize other types of things in our community with it. So I think there's an opportunity.
It's a thought process for me as it relates to the community. It's more visible that way, I think, with the community, knowing that that piece of art is at their given school within the confines of that community. If we're trying to get the public to realize how their tax dollars are being spent.
We can work towards that. But again, they're at rec centers, not at schools.
And it may not work, I'm not sure, I'm just making a recommendation.
We can explore.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
We can explore and see if
That's
there's
good.
opportunities and stuff like that. But right, that's it. They're not at schools, they're at rec centers.
I'm sorry.
I was saying they're not at schools, they are at rec centers, park and recreation centers. So they're
At the park and rec centers.
that is correct.
But I've heard us say that somewhere near, at schools, on the grounds of the schools.
No, all of them are at park and rec facilities.
Thank you.
I can't hear you.
Commissioner Altman.
Love it. Just wanted to also encourage, if they could be on our digital billboards, that would be really beautiful. Thank you.
Commissioner Griffin.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up when I said, I wish we could do this. Sometimes people think that's more money. I'm trying to figure out if we could collaborate. There's a law with FCC where a lot of our telecommunications companies have public responsibilities in the public interest. And I would certainly encourage you to maybe explore with all of our telecommunications companies to see if they can collaborate with the county to make sure that this gets into the airways and spaces in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Johnson, thank you for this. This is fantastic. Really appreciate it. Dina, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next item under my manager's report is the adoption of the budget ordinance. I know that our budget director, Adrian Cox, has a brief presentation as a follow-up to the straw vote that he wants to present, and then we'll turn it over to you for the fun and games.
For the reason why everybody's here. Okay. Thank you. Adrian, it's all yours.
All right. Thank you, County Manager DiOrio. Good evening, Chairman Jarrell, members of the board. I do have a few slides to share with you this evening as you consider the budget ordinance for fiscal year 2026. The ordinance that is before you appropriates funding for the 2026 fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. It sets the tax rate for the county as well as special service districts. It approves the fees for park and recreation, land use and environmental services, and public health as presented to the board on April 22nd. And it includes all of the adjustments that were approved by the board in the straw vote meeting on May 29th. The budget totals $2,542,319,642. County dollars total to $1,900,590,823. The ordinance allocates $30,659,936 of our available fund balance for one-time expenses, and it establishes a tax rate of 49.27 cents for every $100 of property value. The budget includes a significant amount of funding that is necessary to support many unfunded mandates and expenses that result from a void of appropriate state funding. These total to $484 million and are listed in the table on this slide, and this is equivalent to 16.08 cents of the property tax rate. And cumulatively, it totals to $2.61 billion since fiscal year 2021 budget. The county's current tax rate is the 19th lowest in the state, and you can see the comparison to the other 99 counties on this slide. It is also lower than our neighboring counties and the 3 other largest counties in the state. As a point of reference, our county also has the 3rd highest per capita income in the state, and we are the 15th lowest in the state for the percent of children that are living in poverty. And I'm simply providing these last 2 data points as a reference about the county broadly in comparison to other counties. I know that there are disparities in the county, and the experience is not the same for everyone. So we don't have all the data yet on all of the fiscal year 2026 rates throughout the state, but here are some of the recommended tax rates from the larger counties and our neighboring counties. Forsyth and Union County have just completed a revaluation, and both of their managers are recommending increases over their revenue neutral rates. Forsyth, a 4.2 cent increase, and Union, a 1.8 cent increase. Wake is also proposing a rate increase for the 4th year in a row, this year for a 1/4 cent. This chart shows the change in the county tax rate since 2007. The chart on the top shows the total rates. The chart on the bottom shows the change in the rate, with the change for the years that are impacted by revaluation reflected as the change over revenue neutral. The actual change in the rate following the revaluation for fiscal year 2012 was a decrease of 2.2 cents. In 2020, a decrease of 20.63 cents, and in 24, a decrease of 14.38 cents. Rate increases that are tied to the county's debt service are anticipated for fiscal year 28 at 2 cents and 2029 at 1 cent. Here you can see the impact of a 0.96 cent property tax increase. The impact on a property valued at $250,000 is an additional $24 per year or $2 per month. The impact on a property valued at $377,000, which is the median value for the entire county tax base, is $36.19 annually or $3.02 per month. And for a property valued at $600,000, the annual impact would be an increase of $57.60 or $4.80 per month. The Homes Program provides grants to help residents at 80% of AMI or below who have owned their home for at least 3 years. The program provides a grant equal to 35% of the county tax bill up to $650. For participants in this program, the impact of any increase is significantly offset by the grant. The average participant has a home valued of $302,806. When you factor the homes grant, the net increase would be $18.90 or $1.57 a month. For a home at the median value for the county as a whole, the net increase would be $1.97 a month. So to conclude, I want to highlight a few of the great aspects about the budget that is before you. The budget fully funds CMS for a total of $699 million. It expands MEC Pre-K with $3.4 million and 10 classes, wrap care, and teacher pay. It fully funds the medic budget request with $7.9 million in additional fund balance for ambulances, equipment, which will support their expansion of staff by 78 positions. The budget provides $2 million in 15 new positions for the library. It also increases funds for seniors, for adult daycare, and in-home aid by $2.3 million. The budget provides a 3% salary increase and performance-based pay up to 5% for county employees. And most importantly, it provides the funding to continue to deliver valuable county services to Mecklenburg County residents for next year. So Chairman Jarrell, that concludes the slides that I have to share with the board tonight.
Thank you, Adrian. I'll tell you what, at this point, we should not have any questions. I think we've been clear. We talked about everything we need to talk about during the straw vote. What I'd like to do is certainly, Adrian, I want to take the opportunity to thank OMB and ask your team to stand and be recognized.
So much.
So I just want my colleagues to know very quickly that I had the chance to visit with this group earlier today during their team huddle, and to thank them on our behalf for their hard work during this process, and let them know how what they do is very, very impactful to the community, without question. And also, wouldn't let this opportunity go by without recognizing Adrian, his leadership, his ability to bring his humor to this process, which I think it takes. I dipped into his office the other day after the straw vote, and I said, hey, man, I need to talk to you. He's like, hey, you're not trying to make any changes, are you? So, but no, we are, that wasn't the reason. But certainly, I want you all to know how much the board appreciates your hard work year over year and what you bring to the table. And I would encourage everyone to find out about their hidden talents as well. So. So with that being said, the way we'll do this, people will get an opportunity. Those that have to speak to this, you'll get that opportunity. I want to get the motions. There are 2 motions that we need to make that I need to get on the floor first. You will get an opportunity to speak. Please be specific around, why you are not supporting. Everybody that's supporting, I think you should be clear to go. With that being said, no, let me go first, and then you're going to come. So at this point, we're going to come to the approval of the county budget ordinance for fiscal year 2025 to 2026. A motion is needed to adopt the budget ordinance for FY 2025 to 2026.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move to divide the question on approving the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget ordinance to exclude the following nonprofits to be voted on separately. Charlotte Center City Partners, Arts and Science Council, Smart Start of Mecklenburg County, Star Med's Katie Blessing Center, The Relatives, and My Brother's Keepers.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Now, can I take questions now, or should I carry the motion?
Vote to carry, to divide.
Okay, so this vote will be to divide. So all those in favor, let's see by show of hands.
What are we voting for? The
Divide. We are voting to divide it, yes. So let's see again by show of hands so that we're clear. That is unanimous, Madam Clerk. All right. With that being said, at this point, I want those that would like to speak to this to be able to speak to it. All right, so is everybody tracking?
Speak to the budget.
Speaking to the budget, exactly. If you have to. I think some feel like they need to. I think there's a couple people that need to. So with that being said, let me start with Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell, and then I'll come to Commissioner Dunlap.
Well,
All right.
it's actually a procedural question.
Okay, hold on one second, Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell.
Because the motion to divide is what's on the table, which means that those who cannot vote for certain aspects of the budget should be addressed, and then the overall adoption of the budget should be the last thing that we do.
All right, help me with that. Let's make sure I got it right.
You will adopt the motion to approve the budget as divided. Because once you divide it, all of those things that came out will be voted on separately.
Right.
So you can adopt the budget, but it will be adopted without those named nonprofits. Then when you vote individually to put them in, it will complete the entire budget.
All right, so I'm not clear, and I apologize. Let me make, the motion to divide, we carried that motion.
Carry that motion.
We carried that motion.
Right.
Now, so go ahead.
So you can allow everyone to speak.
To speak, right.
Once they speak, there should be a motion to adopt the budget as divided.
Okay. But
That's right.
my point was for them to speak first and then move to the next piece.
Yes.
Okay. So are we all clear on that? So let me start with Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell. We'll start there and we'll work our way around.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this budget is not perfect. It represents compromises and cuts. I want to commend the budget team for their hard work. They did what we asked them to do. Having said that, it is important to realize that we as commissioners approach the budget in a different way than staff. Both approaches are needed to bring balance. At the end of the day, commissioners need to provide a community-based lens to a more institutional one. In my view, we have to weigh the pros and cons of staff recommendations and make a decision based on our values and what we believe our constituents value. This is never easy, but it is the job. No one relishes raising property taxes, especially when doing so will always impact lower-income folks the most as a proportion of their income. That is why we provide relief as best we can, but it is the folks above the lowest threshold that get squeezed with no recourse, and I'm truly mindful of them. That is why I advocated last year to push a half-a-cent increase to this year, so the increase last year would be more gradual over time. So now we are adding that half penny plus another half. And we have to also be upfront and honest about the fact that there will be more in the near future with the school bond increase that's coming up and the possibility of a transportation sales tax increase. A huge problem for us is our state and federal governments. They are both failing us. They are both conspiring to privatize to the point of crippling taxpayers. The county is the bottom of this hierarchy, and your higher property taxes and sales taxes will be the result. Money flows to the most powerful, and that is how it is all being set up to stay. We must be aware of these forces, and we, the people, need to realize that we have the responsibility to make a shift in the trajectory through our active participation in our governing. I believe that there are some issues in this budget that need further review, and I am working to rectify those. In the meantime, I'm supporting this budget in its current form. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else need to speak to it? Commissioner Meyer?
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to be brutally honest about this budget. In the past, except for probably 1 year, I've been proud, and I have used that word, to vote for the budget. But this year, I am not proud. I can't say that I'm proud this year, and this is no way of reflection on the staff. Adrian, you've done a phenomenal job. The staff has done a phenomenal job, and thank you, Manager, for everything you have done. They have painstakingly had to cut. They've had to go through our budget and cut, and that had to have been so hard, and I recognize that. I want the public to know exactly what we had to cut, because I don't think people are paying attention. But before I do that, more than anything, we're having to make up for what the state and the federal government are not funding, and that I don't believe our public knows that either. They're mandated funds. That means there are various items that have to be paid for, but are not being funded at either level. And I want to give you this list, and won't give them all, but they are not funding operating support for CMS, CPCC supplemental wages and benefits, court support, behavioral health support, North Carolina pre-K supplement, foster care, state and county special assistance program, and the list goes on. I want our media to report on this. I want it seen in the media, because that's how our people are going to hear about it. This is to the tune of $485 million, and I'm speaking to the public now. Your federal and state representatives are not funding $485 million that we have to absorb and pay for. Therefore, we're cutting funds to programs like, and I'm going to list a few, Sid Kimmel, which helps children with behavioral health, Center for Child Health, Center for Community Transitions, Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy, Crisis Assistance Ministry, Prospera of North Carolina, RAIN, Read Charlotte, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It goes on. These are wonderful programs that are working with the people of Charlotte, of Mecklenburg County, that are not going to be getting money this year because of our state and federal program, because of our state and federal representatives. To the media, you should be reporting on this all the time. This should be common knowledge. People should know this in the public. To the public, you should demand better of your elected officials at the state and federal level. Hold them accountable. To the staff and manager, thank you for your hard work. I know it's been tough. I know it's been tough on you, and I appreciate your work. To my colleagues, we have a lot of work to do. I know each of you, and I know this is hard. I want to challenge you in the next several months to find ways to help some of these very necessary and deserving organizations. Minds and hearts open, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Leek.
Let me first say thank you, as been said before, to all of you who've worked very hard to make this a presentable and readable and understandable to the general public. And I say this because I'm concerned about my district understanding what we're asking the county to do when the funds are not there. As has been stated, I don't want to restate what's already been stated, that the state and the federal government haven't done their part. And we cannot, and I don't believe we're putting enough pressure on the state or the federal government to do its part. Maybe we have, I'm not sure. The other thing is, if we want services, we're going to have to pay for them. And we have to use the taxing process to make it happen. And the people who are paying the taxes are the ones who need the services, basically, if we look across this district. When we talk about education, when we talk about health, when we talk about housing, when we talk about all of this social service, children without being adopted, or the community itself needs support, and we don't have the financial wherewithal to do it all. And I always ask for the budget when people ask us for money. And some of us on this board don't want us to ask people for the budget. We want to see how they've spent the money, if they've utilized the money appropriately. And if they need more, then we would understand better why they need more. So I'm really struggling with whether to support the budget because of the people who are going to have to pay for it. And that's my seniors, who are the basic people who will pay for it. It sounds good, it would be good, so I'm going to wait and see what the rest of them say and what the rest of them do when it comes to voting for the budget that will bring about taxation. Am I right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
If we vote for the budget, we're voting for taxing the people of Mecklenburg County to make the budget whole,
Voting for the tax
or to
increase.
approve this budget that's presented by our manager.
Correct.
And I want to thank her for her efforts and her diligence to make sure that she's doing the right thing. And I don't question that. If we don't have the funds, she can't even put them in the budget. Am I right, madam?
Yes.
So we can't fault everybody for the problem we have at this time. If it's not there, it's just not there. We have to be realistic. And someone said something about crisis assistance. We have been supporting crisis assistance since 1975. And I'm not against crisis assistance, but other agencies who do not do what they do and get the money and return it, I'm hoping that we are aware that we make the right decisions as we present these funds to this community, and not by friendship, but by the needs of the people. And we heard the needs of the people. So I'm waiting to see what the 8 people are going to do, and if that will include me in the process to make sure that my district will be well in this process of being taxed, but understanding that being taxed, you're going to have to pay the price if you receive funds back. Am I right, my manager?
Yes,
You need the money to make the decision.
that's correct.
So you took Peter to pay Paul, as we say,
Sort of,
or
yeah.
Paul to pay Peter.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Townsend Ingram.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to say thank you to Adrian and his team, especially Adrian. He pulled me aside and even gave me additional information to help me, and especially because I'm the newest one here on the county commission. I want to say, and especially to the community, because I posted and asked for the community to stream and watch and become more engaged so that they can understand this process, because as I've said over and over and over again in my posts, elections have consequences, whether you participate or not. Every election, they have consequences. I myself, I am new to the county commission, but I'm not new to budget processes. I was a budget analyst. I have a certain level of expertise. I have an MBA, I have a DBA. So I'm new to this process here, but you elected me because of that expertise and before some other things. So thank you to the community for trusting me with that expertise and with that knowledge. 407,000 of you, yeah, I counted, 407,000 of you trusted me with that information, and I don't, with this responsibility, and I do not take that lightly. So I asked innumerable questions. Dina will tell you, Adrian will tell you, I asked the questions, and I said when I ran that I ran with a sense of empathy that I don't think that others have, because I've experienced some things that other folks may not have had or may not remember having, you know, as early that I've had most recently. I let my empathy lead my intellect and my expertise. So when I say that I am voting for this budget to fund the things to help the least of us, the least of these among us, we're asking you to give a little more, which thank you, Adrian, for pointing out. Our tax rate is so much lower than the counties surrounding us. So we're asking you to give a little more so that we can help those who have nothing. There's going to be hard choices more coming forward. And there are other agencies and government bodies that are raising your taxes even more. Check out what your homeowner's insurance is going to go up with the rate hike. Check out something as simple as your water bill, how that's going to go up. And I want to say also that, you know, what they have to do, the staff has to do, and what we have to do is not easy. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. But as far as our children and as far as our seniors, we put programs in place to soften, to minimize the impact to our seniors. So that is what I also want the public to know. Yes, we make decisions with you in mind, understanding that there are going to be those who cannot afford the taxes. But we put programs in place to try to help, and we try to get that information out there so that you can take advantage of it. So yes, I am voting yes on this budget. It wasn't an easy thing to do, but I asked questions. I asked the hard questions, and our staff and our manager gave us the answers. And this was the least, you know, it wasn't a great option, but out of all of the options that we had, it was the best one out of a bunch of really awful options. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Powell.
Thank you. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, OMB staff. I don't know a person that gets excited about increasing a tax rate, but because of the work that's been done, it's easy for me to support this. And, you know, here we are, we finally have a journalist here. Here we are with a $2.5 billion budget. And for all these years, county leadership, Dina, county leadership have been cutting. And we are bare bones. So there isn't a department that didn't make a painful cut. Nobody's doing the Snoopy dance about how bare bones it is, where many departments are struggling to get by, and cuts had to be made. Taxpayer dollars cannot pay for everything. Corporations need to step up. It's really time for them to step up. And I wanted to make a correction because everybody keeps saying state and federal. This slide number 3, which needs to be on the front page of every newspaper and every news channel, slide number 3 is a void in state funding, not state and federal, state. And so when they put that kind of burden on Mecklenburg County with all of the differences, the needs that we have with such a populated county, there is no choice. Like if you want to provide valuable services to the community that we serve, if you're committed to stability of local government, we have done it. We have gone as bare bones as you can possibly go, and we still need to have a tax increase for first order priorities. And so while it's no fun to vote for a tax increase, but it's the right thing to do if we want a community worth living in. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Dunlap.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me just start out by saying that I approached this budget from the standpoint of not increasing the tax rate. That was my desire from the beginning. But then I had to look at the alternatives. The fact is, in order to not have an increase in this budget, we would have to reduce the current budget by approximately $28 million. That cut to services is extremely deep. For those of us who are concerned about the things that are being cut now, to cut an additional $28 million would have been what it would take to not increase the budget at all. So what I chose to do was to look at the positive things that happened as a result of this budget. CMS is showing improvement. We need to support them while they're doing this. This is not the time to take the rug out from under them. So we're fully funding CMS. We're expanding our MEC pre-K because we understand the value of early education. In addition to that, some of you have complained about MEDIC and the service that MEDIC provides. For the first time in a long time, we're adding new positions to MEDIC. In fact, we're expanding their staff by 78 people so that we can protect and save lives. In addition to that, with the growing library that we have, we're adding 15 new positions to fully staff, and I don't even know if we're fully staffing our libraries, but that's a substantial increase compared to what it was. For the seniors, additional support for adult daycare and in-home aid, that's critical for those people who need it the most. Our critical home repair for people who want to age in place, that's important. So when we start looking at all the things that happen that are good about this budget, it outweighs the fact that we're going to increase the budget by a penny. As you've already heard, every county that surrounds Mecklenburg County has substantially higher taxes than Mecklenburg County, some as much as 10 cents on the dollar. And so we should be proud of the fact that we can maintain the low tax rate that we do and then still provide the services that we're providing. So it is with that I feel compelled to help provide the services that are going to greatly benefit the residents of Mecklenburg County. So I will be supporting the budget with the amendments.
Thank you. Commissioner Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, like everyone else, let me thank Adrian and your team, county manager, and all that participate in the budget process. We all want a stronger Mecklenburg County, but wanting progress is not enough. We must define outcome goals, SMART goals, align spending with impact, and be honest about what is working and what's not. Colleagues, based on those three principles, our system is broken. And because of that, I'm not able to support this budget as well as the tax increase. I have a lot of experience. I put 50 years here, but I won't tell you, that make me think I'm too old. But I have a lot of experience in this process advocating for justice. Let me tell you something I've learned. There will never be enough taxpayer money to do all the justice that we seek. So we must get the biggest impact for the dollars we have. And certainly I understand taxes are necessary for education, for public health, for infrastructure. You know, I've been around for a moment or two. But in the last FY 24, 25, 26, we've increased local spending by $200 million net. Going back to that third point, be honest about what's working and what's not. One of our budget priorities is educational attainment. In 2016, we engaged in MEC Pre-K for the sole purpose of kindergarten readiness.
All right.
And every year I've been on this board, I've asked about how many MEC Pre-K kids are ready for kindergarten. And I have not received that, and nor have any of us received any data, well, I won't say any data, but data to support the answer to the question, are our kids ready for kindergarten? CMS, I love CMS to death. That's my school. That's my school system. But they shared data with us recently. I asked how many students are graduating with less than a 2.0 in the class of 2024.
Tell it.
I spoke to our chair of the school board a week or so ago to ask if the numbers that were given to all of us was duplicated or unduplicated. I haven't heard back, so I'll take it at face value. 3,940 students graduated out of the class of 9,674 with a GPA, a grade point average, of less than 2.0. That's 40% of the graduating class. These students are not going to be successfully employed, enlisted, or enrolled. And where's the return on investment for our taxpayers? We debated the other day about giving tax dollars to a nonprofit for a duplicative community financial literacy program. Despite living in the second largest banking system in America, with dozens of banks and financial institutions that are required by federal law under the Community Reinvestment Act to provide free financial literacy to low-income residents, rather than encouraging collaboration and leveraging of these existing resources, we once again are reaching into the taxpayer's pocket. We owe it to the taxpayers to expect a reasonable return on their investment. We owe it most to our vulnerable to demand outcomes. You know, dependency versus empowerment, safety nets versus self-sufficiency. It's going to take a mindset change for us. As we talk about the tax rate, that's different than the tax bill. As you get your property reevaluated, the tax rate could be 10 cents per 100. But if your property escalates over 1,000%, and you all know that the Crescent's being impacted by that uneven escalation, I can't support this tax rate given those three principles that I suggested to you originally. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to say I'm proud to support this budget. I am proud and grateful that the manager got to fully fund with CMS again. I am proud to support the expansion of MEC Pre-K, of MEDIC, of libraries, of adult pre-K, of adult daycare, and of park and recreation. These are my values, and I believe they are prized values of this community. You know, I'm not really tracking with some of the grousing around the cuts that the manager recommended. Not only did she do what we asked her to do, she did it because of steps that this board took last budget cycle when she recommended against not raising the tax rate to the rate it needed to be. She recommended $0.015. And when there was when there was interest on the board to only raise it a penny, the manager said it was not responsible. So when a year rolls around and we don't have enough tax revenue, she has to go to one of the places that we've never cut from, which is our nonprofits. 10 years, there's never been any cuts from our nonprofits. Meanwhile, our departments have cut and cut and cut to the bone every year. So, I mean, let's just be honest about how we got here and not sort of beat up the manager or act like there was something wrong with the process, because this is an outcome that she warned against. And I believe that they used a very careful scalpel. Did they make no mistakes? Probably not. They probably made a mistake somewhere along the way. But generally speaking, they used a very careful scalpel to find redundancies in our funding, to try to deliver the best quality services to help the most number of people for the least amount of money so that we could not increase the tax rate as much as possible. So I just think that like staff and the manager's office really deserve kudos for getting us to fully fund in an environment with a slowing sales tax revenue with a structural deficit that she warned against. I'm just grateful, and I'm very proud to vote for it. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank all of my colleagues, number one, for your thoughtful comments, the consideration that you put into the budget, for how you struggle with this, how you've taken it seriously. I want the public to really understand a couple of things. Number one, the manager made a recommendation. That's what the manager did. She made a recommendation. It's not the manager's budget, it's the board's budget. So nobody can hide behind the manager made this decision, the manager made that decision. We have a straw vote, people in the public, that allows us to make changes, make motions, to do whatever we want to do. That's just the fact of the matter. We are here, as the vice chair said, and it's just the truth of the matter. I remember sitting there, and I've thought about this 1,000 times. I've even mentioned to the manager that she clearly said it's not responsible to do what I raised my hand to do last cycle, and I have to take full responsibility for that. It was a lesson learned. It was a hard lesson. I wish I could unring the bell, and I can't. And so now today, Dina, staff, colleagues, I'm forced to make a tough decision. To your point, Commissioner Powell, none of us are jumping up and down about a tax increase. If it was 1/10 of a penny, a full penny, nobody is jumping up and down over that. The condition of our community requires that we fund services for this community. In my opinion, it would be irresponsible for one person to be left behind, left out of a delivery of service, whether that is education, whether it's public health, whether it's SNAP, or any other service that the community provides. To our nonprofit partners and colleagues, as I said during the straw vote, this is the same board that has raised their hand numerous times to fund, to support, to go above and beyond when times were different. And today it's the same board that has to make the tough decision when times are not so good. And we have to make the decisions that we're making. We understand the responsibility that we have, and we know when economic conditions change, we'll be able to make changes. That's just the way that it works. And so I certainly support the board's budget at this point. I appreciate the manager and I appreciate staff for your recommendations and the opportunity to make the considerations that we've made. But at this point, we are voting on the board's budget. We're not voting on the manager's budget. And I want us to be crystal clear with the community that that is the particular case. And again, I appreciate my colleagues. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I appreciate your passion. Commissioner Meyer, I hear you loud and clear when you say, let's find ways to help. I think that's inbounds, and I know we'll do that. I know we will when opportunity presents itself. And with that being said, I know that the attorney has a suggestion so that we can be clean and crystal clear on so we don't have to unring the bell or undo. So I'm going to ask all of my colleagues just to be patient as we walk through this, because it is a little clunky, a little complicated. And so, Mr. Attorney, if you would make your suggestion, please.
I'd ask the chair to allow Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell to amend her motion.
Speak so we can hear you in the
I would
mic.
ask the chair to allow Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell to amend her motion to adopt the budget ordinance as divided. The original motion did not include the division of the 6 nonprofits. So the motion needs to include the division, and then you will vote on the nonprofits individually. She is amenable to amending her motion.
Absolutely. Do you want me to state it again?
Yes, if you would.
Okay.
Should I make a motion?
I will try my best to state it. You want to give me your paper so I can say it the way you said it?
Oh, Mr. Attorney, wait, just so I'm clear, did Commissioner SRM make a motion
I
earlier?
made the
She made the
motion
motion
originally
before you divided the
to
question.
adopt the budget,
Oh, okay.
and then it turned out we had to divide it.
Right.
And so that's the original motion.
So you're making the motion to
Amend.
approve the,
To amend it as divided.
as divided. Thank you. All
I'll
right.
second it.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. There should not be any unreadiness. All those in favor of the motion by Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell, let's see by show of hands. Okay, all those opposed? Right, we have one opposed. All right. Now, with that being done, we've got to take a vote separately for each of the identified nonprofits that affected the board members, because some of us have to recuse. Okay, so that's the portion we are going to go through right now.
Just a question for the
Sure,
attorney.
sure.
Do I have to vote against each of the nonprofits?
Do not.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
So what's going to happen, colleagues, is I do have to recuse, but not until after we do this first one, then I'm going to recuse.
Anyone else?
Myself and Commissioner Meyer, we're going to go through that right now.
You read that.
So at this point, the chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and fund a contract with Smart Start, the Mecklenburg County, and StarMed's Katie Blessing Center consisted with the adopted budget ordinance.
So moved.
Mr. Chair, due to my affiliation with these two nonprofits, I would ask to be excused from my duty to vote on funding these two contracts.
Okay. All right. So it's been moved and seconded. Let me get a question from the clerk.
I just want to be clear about Commissioner Griffin. Is he a no?
He voted against the budget, so he doesn't have to vote on anything else. These are only
Not
to approve.
included.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Commissioner Meyer has asked to be recused, so we have to take the vote on recusal. So everybody's clear what we're trying to do. All right, so at this point, I'll entertain a motion to allow Commissioner Meyer to be excused from voting on funding contracts with Smart Start and Katie Blessing Center.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All, you,
I don't vote on this.
no, you're not going to vote on this.
Breaking the law.
All those in favor, let's see by show of hands. Okay, all opposed. All right, Commissioner Meyer is recused, and then Commissioner Dunlap.
I was going to make the motion that we approved those same items.
Okay, right, and so we go back to the original motion, thank you. And so it's been moved for us to approve those items of Smart Start, Mecklenburg County, and StarMed's Katie Blessing Center.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, let's see by show of hands. All opposed. All right, at this point, I need to turn the gavel over to the Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and fund a contract with Charlotte Center City Partners and Arts and Science Council consistent with the adopted budget ordinance.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Madam Vice Chair, due to my affiliation with these two nonprofits, I would ask to be excused from the duty to vote on funding these contracts.
All right?
So moved.
Second.
I
No, wrong. I don't think, didn't you just say Charlotte City Partners in Arts and Science?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
me. It's not Dunlap.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's not Dunlap.
It's based on where you serve.
It's the chair. It's the chair, so it would be me.
Okay, thank you.
And actually,
You wanted to add the other one?
let me go back, if I can, Mr. Attorney. I needed to add two other nonprofits for the chairman. May I just go backwards?
You can amend the motion to include those two.
Okay, do I need to move to amend the motion?
Yes.
Okay, I move to amend my motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and fund a contract.
No, to first recuse himself from my brother's keeper and the relatives.
Okay, so do you want the chairman to make the,
You want me to go back and make
state
my
the
motion
three
to
that he's
recuse?
gonna-
Be recused from
Okay.
all four.
All right, so, Madam Vice Chair, due to my affiliation with these four nonprofits, I'd ask to be excused from my duty to vote on funding the contracts for Charlotte Center City Partners, Arts and Science Council, My Brother's Keeper, and the relatives.
So moved.
Second.
All right, the motion having been made and seconded, all those in favor of Chair Jarrell's recusal for these 4 entities, raise your right hand. And the motion passes. All right, now we will return to the main motion on the approval of the budget ordinance approving funding for Charlotte Center City Partners, Arts and Science Council, My Brother's Keepers, and the relatives.
So moved.
Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded, all those in favor, raise your right hand. And that's the majority. The motion passes. And I now return the remainder of the voting process back to the chair.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Attorney, we are done with the budget is actually adopted, so congratulations. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations, Dina. Yes.
Do we not now have to adopt the entire
Budget.
budget?
That's what we did before on the first motion
Okay.
with the nonprofits removed.
All right.
That's why it was amended,
All
So
right.
this included all of the
nonprofits.
funding fees and medical fees and everything. All right, we're good.
All right. So now we're going to move to County Commissioner reports and requests. At this item right here, I hope I don't have to go into detail about the NAACP. I don't think I need to, but for those that may be listening and unfamiliar with the organization, it's done a tremendous amount of work to provide justice to particularly African Americans and other populations that have been underserved and underrepresented. They've highlighted things such as lynching and Jim Crow and mass discrimination, whether it relates to voting or other aspects of everyday society. Education as well. And so the byproduct of their work can be seen and felt in every corner of the United States, every corner of the world. And we are privileged to have the NAACP convention coming to our community, to Charlotte, this summer. Last night, the city council voted to support that convention with $200,000. They voted on that last night, and tonight, I am asking this board to approve and match that amount for the convention that will be held here July 12th through July 16th.
Second.
So move.
It's been moved and seconded. I know we have unreadiness. Commissioner Dunlap.
Thank you. I spoke with our attorney about this earlier, and out of an abundance of care, Mr. Chair, I would ask that I be recused.
Yes, sir. All right.
So moved.
Serving as a life member of the organization.
Understood. So we're gonna move for, I'll give you a chance 1 second. Let me get this motion on the floor. Did you need to be recused as well?
Yeah, I mean, if life membership causes that, I'm a life member too.
That's why I asked him first.
It's
I'm a life
cleaner.
member.
It's cleaner.
Okay. Then can I get a motion so that two of our colleagues are recused?
So move.
All right, moved and seconded for Commissioner Griffin and Commissioner Dunlap to be recused from this vote. All those in favor, let's say, see by show of hands. All right, all opposed for recusal? Okay, there's no opposition. So let's go back to the main motion. I believe I heard
I made it.
Commissioner Leek made the motion. Commissioner Rodriguez seconded the motion. Is there any unreadiness on this motion?
On the recusal?
No, we voted on the recusal. They're recused. We're back to the main motion that's funding funding a portion of the convention. Commissioner Powell.
So I think that since we just passed a $2.5 billion budget, that it's important for us to be mindful and for the public to know where the funds are coming from, because they're coming from the Office of Equity and Inclusion, from this year's budget.
That's correct.
So it's not part of the future, it's in this budget.
Thank you for that.
And all staff from Mecklenburg County can go, like everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you for lifting that up. That was really an important part. And Dina, was there anything that should be lifted up to her point?
Well, with our $200,000 sponsorship, we do get a certain number of seats to be able to attend, and so we're going to make sure that all those tickets are distributed. But if anybody wants to go, they would have to buy a ticket to go. It's not free for everybody, for the whole county to go.
Right.
I don't mean the whole county, but can staff go?
Yeah.
Like us?
We will get 10 general admission passes to go to the
We do what now?
Just 10?
10.
What'd you say, Gina?
10.
Because it's through the whole, it's 12th through the 16th, and so, it's,
Maybe we can try and get some more than 10.
we'll see. I'm on the.
Well, it's like when you go to the NACO conference. If you want to attend the NACO conference, you have to pay to go to the NACO conference. It's the same thing.
Well, I get it, but we're sponsors.
Call for the question.
We'll work on that. All those in favor, let's see by show of hands. All opposed? All right, that motion carries, Madam Clerk, unanimously.
I'm yes.
She's a yes.
I just didn't put my hand down.
Thank you, colleagues, I appreciate it. So we also need to, there's some public art moment changes that are needed. You want to speak to this?
Sure. Yes, Public Art Moment has been on our agenda since, I think, 2021? Okay. And we need to make a slight change to it because, lo and behold, there's a finite number of public art pieces in our county. And so we want to continue featuring future public art pieces that come as they come along, and we can always go back and revisit some. But the Arts and Science Council reached out to us and said, can we broaden the scope of what we're providing in our public art moment? And so what we propose to do is to rename it the Arts and Culture Moment. And so we can include other items instead of just the public art pieces that come through the percent for art ordinance. This will include other things that the county is supporting with our dollars, such as culture blocks, creative organizations, cultural education programs for schools, and continue the public art projects. So we'll still have the 5 minutes allotted on the agenda, but we're just broadening the scope to a larger amount of things that we are funding. So that's the key, to educate the public and create awareness around what we're funding for art and culture, which we know is a valuable and powerful tool, as we have stated today. So with that, making a motion that we.
Let me read it.
Oh, okay.
Read it, and you move it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get to them. Thank you. So right now, I'm going to entertain a motion. I want you guys to hear this out. There's two parts to it. Approve the name changes from Public Art Moment to Arts and Culture Moment, and expanding the content to include, among other things, community-supported arts and science, cultural programming, and cultural educational programs for school.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and seconded. Commissioner Dunlap.
No, I was going to say that I support the change, because when you look about our community and you think about some of the things that have developed over the course of the last couple of years, particularly those things at the VAPA Center, it's an opportunity to expound on those things when we talk about the art and cultural moment.
That's right. Commissioner Leek.
When the young lady was giving the information, I was saying that if there's a piece of art listed at a school, that school would be involved in the process, and maybe a student or the principal, someone would come and take the information back to the neighborhood. Because our just hearing it is okay, but the broader community will hear it, if that's amenable to you.
Of course, these are things that are sponsored, paid for by county.
Yeah, by the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, ayes have it, Madam Clerk, thank you. All right, let's move to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve consent items?
So moved.
So moved.
Moved and seconded, any unreadiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. Commissioner reports. We're going to start with Commissioner Townsend Ingram. Madam Clerk, everybody's had a lot to say tonight. Let's do 2 minutes.
I'll make mine brief. I know the hour is spent, but I just wanted to let everybody know that Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell and Meyer and myself, we went for a visit, and I can't even remember what precipitated the whole visit, but we went to the Child Care Resources Incorporated, which, as it turns out, was commissioned by the Board of County Commission in 1982. This is a phenomenal organization that I would really want us to look at and to support and to kind of get to know and understand. They are not a child care center, but what they are is a concierge for parents to look to see where child care centers are. They rate them, they grade them. They are concierge for businesses to know where their employees can have child care, and they are also for the actual child care facilities. So they are an all-inclusive, and the data piece is phenomenal. Arthur, you would love this place. If CMS had what they have a piece of proprietary information, and I won't name it, but Janet Singerman is the president and CEO. You could just tell, we walked in and she was just her eyes were just lit up, and she was talking about the data too, and she was excited and happy, and she's retiring in June. But she is offered to provide any type of consulting or information or things of that, we need reports, things of that nature. So I just wanted to lift that up to the group and just say that I think we found a gem.
Are you going to cut this out? Consent item.
Commissioner Powell.
Thank you. I don't really have a report, except to say that, on all these travels that we go on for the North Carolina and for NACO and all these different meetings, that I have learned the power of art. So I might not know the power like everyone. But I open my mind and I really think about it, and so I'm thankful for, I really have learned, and it has changed my appreciation of it. So I just wanted to say that, because nobody has to tell me anymore that it's powerful. I get it.
Who's powerful?
It is.
The power of art and culture. It's powerful. So, the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Dunlap.
I'm just thankful that I can recognize growth.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Hopefully everyone's growing in environmental stewardship.
We have grown, Commissioner Powell. Commissioner Altman.
Thank you. I just wanted to lift up Gen 1 Charlotte. I had the pleasure in going to D4 with Chairman Jarrell to celebrate the rising seniors who have, through this nonprofit, been connected to all the right resources to apply to college, to know how to be strategic in getting funding and getting into great schools so they can reach their full potential. And it was truly inspirational. And that is all.
Thank you. Commissioner Griffin.
I just went to yesterday, the Pearl, and when I mentioned that with respect to Dina's participation earlier, I am going to give you credit whether you accept it or not, because what you did for us in July of 2023, I think the entire community of Mecklenburg County heard about Second Ward in Brooklyn. And the experience yesterday, in terms of the Pearl, was just, it took my breath away. The reflections of Brooklyn as it was depicted around the site was phenomenal. The bones, as I was saying to Gene Woods, I think our ancestors were speaking out of those bones, that facility. And I say that because the centerpiece is something called Jacob's Ladder. There's an African-American principal responsible for that. Her name is Isabella Butler White. She was the founding principal of Myers Street Elementary School, which was
Oh,
the first school in Charlotte for black kids. It was in a barn. But the next iteration of Myers Street was the Jacob's Ladder School that she was responsible for. And then subsequently, she left after the bricks were there. But the fact that Jacob's Ladder is there, it is absolutely a commitment to the fortitude and excellence that came out of Brooklyn and the enormous leaders and mentors, educators, doctors who played a role in that experience. And so I'm just thankful that Atrium and the Pearl recognize Brooklyn and know that that ground over there is sacred. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to make those comments.
Thank you. Commissioner Leek.
Thank you. I was honored with being the speaker at a meeting, at a dinner Saturday in Kannapolis that honored Reverend Cannon's mother and 19 other women as outstanding women, black women, in the county of Cabarrus and Kannapolis. And it was well attended, and they're getting ready to build a building to hold those items that was presented at this affair on Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock. So they're in the process of building a museum to elevate the women in Cabarrus and Kannapolis for their contributions.
Thank you. Commissioner Meyer.
No report.
Mr. Rodriguez-McDowell.
Little report. I just wanted to say that I really am proud that last year we delayed the half cent because I really believe that was valuable to people, that we didn't have a 1.5 cent increase, and that this year we would have had to have gone up a half cent anyway. So it's not as if we would have avoided a tax increase altogether this year, but what we've done is made it a more gradual increase. And so I'm still proud of that move. And I just wanted to say that. I also wanted to say that the 16 cents that is because the state is not funding properly the services that we believe are important to the community, and that is really their responsibility. I'm not known for my math skills, but Adrian, I think I did the math and it came out to $600 of, if you have the average house of 377,000 for 16 cents, is that $600?
I can't do that in my head.
Okay, well, I did it with a calculator, and so if I did it right, $600, y'all. So anyways, I just wanted to make that amount be known. Thank you.
Thank you. A couple of things real quick. I want to say, first off, this has been a very memorable night, Dina, for a lot of different reasons. This has been one for the record books. But thank you so much for seeing this budget process through. Your work is finished with respect to the heavy lift. You were with us through the 30th. But I just wanted to say, well done.
Thank you.
Well done. And the other thing I want to say, colleagues, thank you all again for your just thoughtfulness and your passion through this process. We have to have candid conversations on this dais, but appreciate the professionalism that everybody exhibits. It's really important for us to make sure that we continue to demonstrate that to the community. And I appreciate your grace tonight with your chair through a couple of very tense moments. I really do appreciate it, the way you guys handled it. And to those that felt like you did not have an opportunity to, prepare for the manager, I will, I accept responsibility for that. I appreciate the feedback. You will have an opportunity, like I said previously, but I heard you loud and clear, each and every one of you, and I hope you will charge it to the head, not the heart, and you will have an opportunity, like I said. And then, and then finally, before we adjourn, we want to give a special presentation to the manager. And just say, Dina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much.
All right.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I
At
move
this
to-
time, we
move to
will
adjourn.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
We got to adjourn.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.